What is going on, everybody? How y'all doing today? Happy Wednesday. What up? What up? I just had one of my league teammates try to use the word bussin' in a sentence, which was a new experience for me to say it nicely. But what is going on, guys? Let's see. Who is our number one today? Joe hopping in, being the first. He must have hopped in early, man. I wasn't able to see between like 3 and 4:30, so you must have been in there in that range. That's awesome. Welcome, welcome. Congrats on being the first. Let me open up my lovely Twitch chat or TikTok chat quick. Remember, we are live on 4 different platforms right now. We are live on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, and Facebook. So if you want to watch in another format, make sure to go do that. Otherwise, how you guys doing? Hope you're having a good week. We're getting close to the bowling season officially kicking off, which is fantastic. We have not as much to talk about today, not an insane amount, but we do have a little bit. We have the PWBA season just ending. We had again last week the Equinox Hybrid get announced. We have otherwise no new bowling ball news outside of the Swag Virtue, which is coming out soon-ish, but we don't know much about it. Potentially coming out soon. We're not sure. Otherwise, Swag had one of their reviews, I believe, go live. I saw a shot with the Executioner go down the lane. But otherwise, we're going to talk about building a bowling bag, how to actually build your bag. What are some tips and tricks you can use? Because a lot of people are in the hunt right now for trying to find bowling balls that are going to fit their game coming up for this league season. And if you're not in leagues and you just want to build a bag anyway, it's a good time to start that. Tournaments are kicking off as well. So we got a lot of things going on in that regard. But let's see. Remember, it's always a Q&A session here as well. So we always get going in random directions. So make sure to strap in for that. Let's see. Joe, am I late for the 5 o'clock free bowling ball giveaway? If I had a ball to give away, I would. But alas, I am still running the cheap train. Last night I tried sending a message for a Track Kinetic Sapphire Ice that a guy had for 50 bucks. And it was sold already, so it was very sad. I am still Mr. Not spending money full price on many bowling balls. I'm still team used camp. So unless you guys want some used stuff to give away, I have plenty of that. Anybody want a Pyramid Prime Solid? I've got it. I still have it here. Someone please take it from me. Please, I can't get rid of it. I've offered 20 bucks to people and they don't want it. Oh, well, let's see. Brennan, what is going on, man? Is the Viking Conquest, Transform Pearl, Rockstar, Hyperdrive Pearl, Ocean Vibe, and a Spare Ball a good 6-ball arsenal? So you've got big strong, you've got big shiny, medium dull, medium shiny, weak shiny. Yeah, I actually really like it. I don't think you need a concept exactly, but I think it looks pretty good right now. Nice job. Nice job on that arsenal. Yofo, no more raffles. The chat gets flooded. Well, I mean, you got to see it from my POV. Like raffles, as you guys have seen, I think we've talked about it before, but giveaways and raffles are the best way to boost your subscriber count and boost your viewer count. Like I'm looking at my analytics. It's been about a month since we did those giveaways and for the chamois. And in that, when we did that giveaway, I was getting 100 subs a day. That's very tough to do for a lot of bowling channels, especially of my size. That's like an incredible day. So, you know, there's pros and cons. I get it. It's not something we're going to do all the time. I know Perception versus Reality gives stuff away every time, but I believe they have Radical's marketing budget for that. So that's why it's a little more doable compared to little old me who has no company backing me at all in that regard. But that's all right. Jezzy B, what do we think of this arsenal? Combat Solid, Equinox Hybrid, Bionic, Amped, and Crown Vic Pearl. I like that. Kind of unique, but I like it quite a bit. Let's see. And Kai, what's going on? I'm late to the tailgate. Nah, never late. What is it? A wizard is never late. He's always on time. Oh, I forget that quote. I got to watch Lord of the Rings again. And Jazzy has a lesson with TurboTech to get his fit checked. That's something I want to kind of make a goal of mine over the next couple of months is really push how important a good fit is. Because something a lot of people don't realize is that your hand should not hurt after bowling. You should not have blisters or cuts or scrapes or like dark marks on your fingernails or anything. Like that's bad. That means your fit is incorrect and you got to get a new one. So bowling should not be painful. That's the biggest one. Even if there's like elbow issues or wrist issues, that could be because of your fit as well. It's very hard to outbowl a bad fit. There it is. Thank you, Kuzi. He arrives exactly when he means to. Thank you. I knew we'd have other Lord of the Rings nerds in here. I appreciate that. 300 Dreamin', really good question here. That he said, you said that oil doesn't cause lane shine. What does? What does is everything else. So when you throw a bowling ball, it rolls on the oil. That's only on the track area. And then it hits friction. And that is, again, the track area. But then once it gets out of the pin deck, it's rolling around in the back. It goes through the machines and it rolls all the way back to you, and it's rolling the whole time on smoother surfaces. So what happens when you have a dull surface and a smooth surface and they rub together a lot? Because of friction, they get to an even point. So what happens is all these bowling balls, because they're rolling on so much machinery and pads and mats and all that jazz, it ends up getting to that 4,700 grit, which is something that Creating the Difference found as the point that every bowling ball slowly gets to, just because of the make and the material of all the machinery and what it rolls on and all that jazz. So yes, the lane shine is not actually lane shine. That's just a name we gave it. It's actually everything else that causes the ball to shine. Aaron, how are you doing? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Quick question. Besides the Equinox Hybrid, will Storm release anything else in September? Probably not. So Storm has dropped really their amount of releases to a certain degree, and they're not really doing 2 to 3 releases at a time. They're only doing 1 at a time at this point. That's been pretty much the common thing for all of 2026. So I would assume the next Storm Ball, and it probably won't be a Storm Ball, it'll probably be Roto or Global, will be coming in October. So I don't assume they're going to have anything new. They will sometimes release something of like, you'll have the the Equinox Hybrid coming out September 4th. Maybe they'll announce something on September 4th as well. But Storm seems to be doing a better job at making sure that there's a little bit of a gap between their releases, and they're basically doing 1 per month, kind of like how Brunswick is. Like Brunswick, we can assume they're not going to do any announcements till like early September. Like if I had to guess right now, and I get zero information from Brunswick, by the way, I have no communications with them right now in any regard, unfortunately. I would say September 8th would probably be when they'd announce stuff, with the balls releasing on September 17th. That would be my guess. Motive, they kind of do their own thing. I have no idea when they do stuff. They probably will have an announcement soon because the Ghost has been out for a little while. I could see in the next week or two them announcing something new. So we'll see. Let's see. Celtic, what's going on? League starts in 2 weeks for you. Forgot how fun league meetings were. Oh boy, you're going through the league meeting time. That's an experience. Erie, I just bought the Deep Ocean Vibe. Love that for you. Love that. Mika, what's going on over on Twitch? I just got the Rocket AI, not the best ball. Make sure to take the surface off of it a little bit if you want it to be a little smoother and a little more usable. That ball comes out of box insanely shiny. I drilled one for a customer yesterday, and it was so shiny out of box. So make sure if you need to dull it a little bit, bring it to like 3,000 grit. Might be a little better for you. Might be a little bit better. Let's see. TikTok. According to recent patterns, Motive should be announcing soon. What do I think it'll be? I am going to be completely honest with you guys. I cannot say anything because I had a viewer send me a picture of the new bowling ball because Motive accidentally sent it to him instead of sending him a Jackal Ghost V2. So I can say nothing because I know, but I do try to hold my ground in those situations where I don't want to make the announcement of anything before the company does. This is one of those situations. I usually never find out what Motive's new stuff is or dates or anything. But this one I did hear from a viewer who sent me a picture saying, hey, this isn't a ball that's released, right? And yeah, he was supposed to get a Jackal Ghost V2, and Motive must have had an oopsie in the shipping department and sent him that one instead. Because I'd assume influencers are getting that ball, would be my guess. Influencers and staffers, they usually get it pretty early in advance, but I don't know what that realm is like either. All right, Born, Phase 2 solid, ultimate wrecker, and a spare ball. What should you add? You're on high friction synthetic lanes. If you need something weaker than a Phase 2 or stronger than an ultimate wrecker, that would be my guess for what would fit well. So if you want weaker than a Phase 2 and you want to stay in Storm Camp, you go Monsoon. Otherwise, you go like Deep Ocean Vibe from Hammer. If you want stronger than ultimate wrecker, Phase 2 Pearl, Crown Victory could be in there. Stealth Mode Hybrid as well will be a bit early, a bit stronger, but wouldn't be too bad. And got the Zero Mercy Solid, amazing ball, and hooks a ton from X, absolutely. Is there an echo on TikTok? I'm not seeing anybody else say there's an echo, which is good. Vic, league meetings, it's too early for that. That is true. It is. I don't even know when mine are. I think I told you guys this, but I got booted from my USB-C board this last week for not showing up to enough meetings in the last couple of months because I've been traveling for this, for doing this stuff. So they just gave me the boot. So I don't know when any league meetings are for me either. I won't be going. I'm not a captain or anything, but oh, that was my funny thing of the week because there's always got to be something. Hey, Slap, what's going on? Steph, how you doing? Larry, what are your thoughts on the Next Factor? Is it for dry lanes? Yeah, that's when it's going to be best. Next Factor is going to be really bad on the fresh, but it's going to be really good in that transition slash burn. Transocean? What are you saying, Zach? Nomar, I'm too old to even know what bussin' is. To mean that means riding on a bus. Yeah, it's the same thing, pretty much. Same thing. Britt, what's going on? That's a good segue. How are you doing? Oh, welcome to the Unhinged stream. It only goes downhill from here, folks. It only goes downhill. Jeff Beaksma, what's up? My current bag is a GB5 Pearl, 1 Ovation, Turbo X NU. It's not bad. I like it right now. Looking pretty good. Got a lot of different stuff, which is good. Andrew's got a Rockstar amped on the way. Love to see that. Slap has an Evil Eye coming. Oh, he has an Evil Eye already. That's sweet. Steph, love the building a bowling bag series. It's always fun. It's always fun to build bags because there's 18 different ways you can do it because there's 120 bowling balls on the market. Mackenzie, what's going on? What ball should I get? I have an Evoke Mayhem, Jackal Ghost, Attention Star, Zen 25, IQ Tour, Hustle Rip. That's not a bad arsenal right now. You could do something below an Evoke and above your IQ if you want. Otherwise, looking at it, the rest is pretty well-rounded. The rest is very well-rounded. So nice job building that arsenal. Pyramid Prime is the worst ball of all time. Oh, I would agree with that. That ball was so bad. I tried it one more time, by the way, after I made it for that video that I got shredded apart for, and it still did not hook. It still didn't do anything. Maybe I should have tried 360 grit. Maybe that would have made it hook. That was the problem. It's not enough surface. I tried shiny and it was terrible. Let's see. DYK. If you had a soaked ball, would you recommend getting it heated and deep cleaned during the middle of the league season or full send it through the season? Yeah, if oil is coming out of the bowling ball, then I would recommend going through a detox as soon as possible. Now, you don't have to. I actually have it right here with me. If you don't want to go through that process of like actually using an oven to do it, you could use Creating the Differences Back to Life, which I have ironically right here because I don't have enough room in my backpack for it. So I just kind of bring it out when I need to. But if you need to, that is an option as well. That's going to be overall a little bit cheaper because you can do 10, 20, 30 bowling balls with that compared to a $25 detox, which is, one ball. Christian, I spent $50 on an old Belmo spare ball. That's not bad. That's actually pretty solid. Yeah, those are hard to find. Hopefully you don't have to plug it very much because those balls suck to plug because the clear is impossible to match. Like more surface like at the 11th frame. Exactly. I'm keeping all my stuff at 500 grit now. Like I'm so glad I bought a True Grit 500 pad for that tournament. It was perfect. Or a True Cut. I just popped my Rockstar with that. I don't think my Rockstar is going to leave 500 grit ever again, especially because I have something secret that's coming in the next couple of weeks that I'm excited to talk to you guys about in a little bit about that. But not today, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm excited to keep that ball at 500 and have it for that one situation a year where I need 500 grit. Reagan, thinking of getting one as my first real ball, but using my grandpa's old bowling balls from the 90s. Yeah, I would recommend it then. You're going to notice a lot more hook, which is really nice. Mike, what's up? I'm looking at the blue Macas. Are they designed to be trimmed for each shoe? Yes, they are designed to be trimmed. So you can just cut them. They do come with sizes, but you can also trim them and you'll be okay. So just don't trim the heel part, like trim the toe, and then you'll be good to go. Yeah, they're so for anyone who didn't see, I posted just on Instagram so far. Blue Maca is an insole company that's jumping into bowling, and they actually gave me an affiliate link. So if you want to go to Blue Maca and try out some of their insoles, if you like insoles or need some insoles, you can use code ZVL for 10% off. Although I looked on their website and they have a 20% off deal that you pretty much get all the time. So unfortunately, you can't use ZVL. I'd rather you guys use the 20%, but they are really nice. I use them right now. I have them actually Behind me, I kind of switch them between shoes. And they've been great so far. And Jay, what's up? Would the Alert and Ion Pro Solid be too similar for a league bag? My Ion wasn't drilled with my PAP in mind. Was wondering if it was worth it to do so. I don't think it's worth it to plug and re-drill unless you notice problems with with how it rolls. But otherwise, can you use the Alert and Ion Pro Solid? You can. And that's going to be a good like first lesson of the day for building a bowling bag is you can have bowling balls that are similar in the same bag because league, if you bowl in the same league enough, you can predict how the transition is going to go, especially if you look at the team you're playing. Like, as long as you know, are you going against a team of a bunch of people who throw plastic or urethane, or are you going against a team that throws a decent amount of reactive? Like, that's the first thing to know. But once you know that, then you can kind of predict what balls are going to be best and what the transition is going to look like. Like, will you need that strong and smooth ball for your league? Probably not. In that case, you can bring like both an Alert and an Ion Pro Solid as long as they're different. That's the big one. The Alert should be earlier and slower if you keep it around 2000 grit versus the Ion Pro Solid, which is going to be longer and quicker because it comes out of the box shiny and it has that more unique core cover combo. So yes, absolutely, you can keep both in the same bag, but it really depends what you're going for. If you're going for like hitting the widest array of situations, I would not recommend it unless you have more than 6 bowling balls. So hopefully that helps. Boz, so no full Arsenal giveaways. That's next week, man. That's next week. And Jason Fox got a Combat Hybrid out of a mystery box. I think that's a great pull. So that's way different than an Energize. The Combat Hybrid is going to be much earlier and smoother versus the Energize will be a little weaker and quicker. So I love that. Wayne, time to give away a Radical Snapshot every Wednesday. That would only cost me like $70 a week. So that wouldn't be that bad. Oh, the poor Snapshot. Oh, I just saw it today and it was down to like 80. The companies are like, please, someone buy it for the love of God. Get this thing out of our factory. Please. Let's see. Dirk, we hit. Jamie, Radical Evil Eye on long sport pattern as a rev dominant balance. I think that's a good play. Danny, you started a year ago and you're at a 200 average. That's awesome. Nice, man. That's sweet. Brandon, I decided on a high road to go between your phase 2 and Hustle Glow. Nice. Love that for you. That's a good choice. Nesu, how does changing your grit change the ball reaction? Yeah, this is one of, luckily, the most straightforward things in bowling. The more surface you add, so the closer you get to 500 grit, the lower the number is that you put on your bowling ball of surface, the earlier the ball is going to hook and the smoother the ball is going to be. The shinier the ball gets, so the higher that number gets on your surface, the weaker the ball is, the longer it's going to go, and the sharper it's going to be down lane. So if you use 500 grit on a ball, it's going to want to hook very early and be very, very smooth. If you put 4,000 on a ball, it's going to hook really late and be a lot quicker. So to really fine tune your reaction, make sure to play with the surface. That's one of the most important parts of the game. And it's also incredibly cheap. You do not have to spend, $200 to go change the surface of your ball. You can actually do it before a league night or at home, as long as you have an Abralon pad, which I don't have one near me right now, unfortunately. But it is very easy to do in that regard. Dig, if you got an Equinox Solid, which would be a better benchmark, the Hybrid or Pearl? I would lean Hybrid because it's going to fit more of that balance spot. The Equinox Pearl was kind of hit or miss because in some regards because it was so clean and quick at times. So I would say the Hybrid will be a little better for you. Zadie, thank you for the follow, and thank you for the one rose. Colin, what is going on over on TikTok? How you doing? Thank you for the follow as well. Zadie, favorite Pokemon? Grovyle. Grovyle is my number one. I have actually a plush of Grovyle somewhere. I think right there. Maybe. I can't tell. Yeah, he's hiding behind the Metal Mario. I just donated my Perfect Mindset from last year. I'm no longer buying any hybrid balls. Well, the Perfect Mindset sucked, so that also hurts. Alice Champion, I have a Black Widow 3.0, but it's 2 years old, and I have a Phase 2 and Zero Mercy Pearl and Black Widow or Black Hammer 78. Which ball should I look next from Hammer specifically? If you want to get rid of your Black Widow 3.0, grab a Dynasty. It's a perfect replacement for it. It is just overall a better ball, the way it seems. It is pretty much the upgrade of the original Black Widow 3.0. The cover stays around longer. It's a little bit quicker, a little more usable, so that's sweet. I would go with that. Then if you don't want to go with that, you could go probably a Deep Ocean Vibe, in all honesty. That's going to fit pretty well. You don't really have anything in that weak category. Mr. Grenett, I just started bowling and I got a lightning blackout. Looking to bowl more for high school. What's a good ball to pair with it? Nice. That's awesome. I would go like a monsoon or a Brunswick alert. Something like that will fit really well with it. Alice, we hit you. Iria, I just bought a new bowling ball. Deep Ocean Vibe. Is my arsenal good? Black Venom. T-Zone Phase 3 Deep Ocean. Yeah, that looks good so far. John, my elbow hurts sometimes due to needing an elbow replacement. I'm sorry for that, but that could also be something that you could use like the Hyper RX for, the thing I use on my elbow that you've maybe seen in videos. Otherwise, I'll have a video coming out Sunday, more about it on YouTube. That could help, or it could be a fit thing as well. Tori Casey, what is going on? And Nico, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. Slap, has anyone heard anything about the Brunswick strategy? No one talks about the strategy for some reason. It's weird. I've heard very little about that piece. It was kind of like where the combat was. The combat, I heard nothing about at all, and then it got DC'd. And then same thing with the strategy. I haven't heard any good or bad with it, which is kind of disappointing. That's one of the problems with a lot of the Brunswick stuff is once the release date comes, you don't really see anything about it unless the PBA tour is going on. So we're going to have about 4 months now where we're going to hear very little about the Brunswick equipment until it's DC'd, basically. Between the date it releases and the DC date, there really isn't much info. I feel like there's got to be ways that Brunswick can push this product a little more and showcase it a little more in situations. But unfortunately, the guys who like currently get it, pros, influencers, whatever it may be, don't really post much about it later. So, God, I wish I would know more about that strategy. I wish I would see it more or have a better idea. But it's kind of disappointing. It's kind of disappointing because the ball seemed really cool and then just nothing. So I'll try to find a used one is my plan. Like that's one way that I get you guys info about some of these older bowling balls is off the used rack in a lot of places. And if I can find one for cheap, I'll definitely try it and drill it and let you guys know more. But it's just kind of hard. Yeah, French fry. The strategy came out and immediately was forgotten. Seen one at my PSO, but never went down the lane. We didn't even get one at our pro shop. We didn't even attempt it. Like, we just didn't think it would sell much. No more. I have to go to my first ever league meeting in 5 days. Ooh, good luck, good luck. PWBA was fun to watch. It sounds like it. Sounds like it was a sick PWBA finals. Congrats to Jillian Martin, being the only 2-time champion this season. So huge props to her for being, what is she, 23, I think, and was the only 2-timer, which is awesome. So won a major, 30K. Like, that's a fun payday for her. Didn't she win another major? Was her other title this year? I can't remember what. Did she win the Open? God, what did she win? No, did she win the Queens? Someone let me know. Someone let me know what she won. Lenzi, I just tried a new fit on a Bionic. Wild Bill helped me get on getting a shorter span and more reverse in my fingers. There you go. That is awesome. Yeah. Will is fantastic for that. He's got the modern way to fit down, and he does a really good job with that. So that's sweet to see. Jim, on my way to my league meeting. Good luck. Good luck. Dave, I'll take the pyramid solid for 20. Betrix, what are clear signs you know your ball is dying? If when you wipe it off, there's still oil coming out of the bowling ball, that's when you know it's dead. And it was US Open, and she's 22. Oh my God, that's crazy. Ouch. My joints hurt after reading that. Eric Johnson, I have a concept pin kicked out. Think of getting another one with a traditional pin. Is it worth getting? Love the reaction. Would like to keep the shape just stronger. That's actually going to make it sharper down lane and a little bit weaker. So if you want to, you absolutely can. If you want something that's going to be similar-ish, but you want it to hook earlier, you almost have to go with urethane or grab that Intel Tour. Those are going to be the only other 2 options. And we have a Jerry Mars sighting. What is going on, Jerry? Great to see you. The strategy is my favorite ASIM pearl in my bag from somebody on TikTok. Okay. Well, that's the first time I've ever heard that sentence. That's good. Slap, I wouldn't be surprised if Hammer does a Zero Mercy hybrid at some point. Yeah, we're getting close to the year mark for how long the Zero Mercy has come out, so it will not surprise me if they start riding the Zero Mercy train very soon. Andrew Burns, I have had 17 balls reworked because of fit issues. Get checked at the start of every league season, please. I couldn't even hold the ball to throw it, and the pitches and spans were adjusted. There you go. That's a perfect note to go get your pitches and spans checked, because your hand is always changing. Even if you're done growing or like you're still changing. Your hand is still changing. I know my fingers have actually gotten a little more flexible in the last 8 months compared to what they were last year. I don't know how. Same with my thumb. It's a little more flexible. I don't know if I'm wearing away, I don't know if we're wearing away like some of the scar tissue I had from when I busted it, but I have more flexibility, which is odd. That doesn't happen when you get older, except for me, I guess. I'm a weird case. I don't know. I know I'm a weird case, but Jerry, are we talking 11th frame happenings? Not right now. I think all of the drama is pretty much done. I know there was some lefty debate going on. I know Matt Gasson made a post kind of poking at that. But I kind of stayed away from it because I know that how that route's going to go. But I think that was really the only stuff. Otherwise, yeah, we talked about it a bit on Monday. I've got even more videos coming out in the next couple days on short form platforms. So you guys are going to be able to see what match play looked like. Watch me miss the head pin plenty of times, which is, always a fun feeling. Andrew Burns, staffers and blessed others get them 2 weeks early from Motive. Oh, okay. And blessed others. I like that. Staffers and the blessed others. Lisa Henderson on Facebook. What is going on? You have a Zero Mercy solid, Equinox solid, Criterion inverse, Bionic, Evoke, Venomous Hysteria, lefty. Zero Mercy solid, Equinox solid, inverse on the shiny side, Bionic, Evoke. I like that arsenal a lot. I really like that arsenal, Lisa. That looks really good right now. Yeah, Jerry, that was a rough pattern, but I loved it. Oh, it was awesome. So for anyone who didn't know, 11th Frame Open was last weekend. Major tournament in the Midwest area in Dubuque, Iowa. 46 feet, 40 mils of volume. That is the most oil I would say almost anybody in this chat has ever bowled on. 40 mils. It was so fun. It was so hard. Scores were not crazy high. They got a little bit higher at times, but I mean, I went, what was cut 45 over. So it was under a 210 average for 6 games to make it. So scores weren't bonkers through the wall. I don't know what was more challenging, the racks at Cherry or the pattern. I have some videos coming out of lane 30, the end pair, where the 4-pin is like moved like an inch or two to the left. I'm excited to post that. I'm very excited to post that rack. I think that'll get a lot of questions from people. Aaron Springborn, can you please refresh me on something that is when is it time to replace a bowling ball because of wear? For me, of course, I'm a league bowler and I bowl a lot of open play, but not a tournament bowler. So it really depends how much you actually bowl, how many games you put in a bowling ball. Because if you only have one ball and you use it all league season, you're bowling 100, 200 games. Usually after a couple hundred games when you really notice that ball starting to die out on you. I would say about at the 150 mark is when you start noticing it. So it really, you kind of have to guesstimate how many games you have in a ball. Some guys actually really are able to keep how many games they have on a ball. Like they actually track it. Most of us don't. So yeah, if you know that at all, then that could work. RJ, your daughter's Arsenal, Raptor Rain, Evoke Hysteria, Bionic, Zen. AI suggestions are replace the Zen with an Outer Limits Black Hole, add a Turbo XNU, and a Hustle SOS. I would not go Turbo XNU. I think the Turbo XNU is now officially dead because of the Intel Recon. I don't think there's a single reason for anybody to drill a Turbo XNU now because the Intel Recon does the same thing, but a little bit more consistently. So I wouldn't go with the XNU, go with the Intel Tour if you want something there. Otherwise, I think that looks pretty good. Maybe I would recommend like a Zero Mercy Solid or an Ion Max, something super big and strong is generally really good for women's college bowling just to have because you bowl on crazy amounts of volume and crazy hard patterns. So that super big and super slow is generally a good idea. So I'd say one of those might be decent. Is Monsoon good on transition from Bob? Yes, absolutely. Judd Williams, what would pair well with a Bionic for League this fall season? 13 mile an hour, 250 rev rate. You might like something a little weaker. You might like something like a Typhoon, Rocket AI, even a Monsoon if you want something smooth. Something like that might fit a little bit better for you. Brandon, me and Vic were talking about it on his live stream. It was crazy. Oh, that's awesome. About 30 on his live stream. That's sweet. Victor. He might still be hanging. Nope, he's not hanging. Poor guy. Sad. Now we can talk trash about him. Easy. Billy M, what would be a good benchmark ball to start out in league on the Bolero house shot? I don't know much about Bolero house shots. I know they have different patterns depending on where you go. That's a little too ambiguous for me to be able to give you just one option. I would say it depends on what you have. You're a little more on the rev dominant side, so weaker, smoother equipment might be a little better off the rip, and then maybe some kind of like stronger, quicker ball as well will be good. Slap, I tried being exclusively Brunswick, but I'm branching the rest of the B6 group. Yeah, it's not really possible to actually be like a specific fan for just like Brunswick or track or 900 global. It's just not possible. And it's not really worth it because the big thing you got to remember is the only difference between a lot of those brands is actually the logo on the side. They're made in the same place. It's a lot of guys who, even if they have an independent person on a brand, they are collaborating so heavily with the other guys at the company. Brunswick, for example, like we know their core designers generally manage 2 to 3 different brands at the same time. When we talked to Brian last December, we knew he was dealing with Hammer, Colombian, Deviate. And then their other guy was dealing with Ebonite, Brunswick, and Track. So while there could be different people, they're collaborating almost every day on things. So it doesn't really benefit you if you only focus on one of the brands under an umbrella. Motive is easy because it's just Motive, but like Storm, you're doing yourself a disservice if you only focus on one of those 3 brands. Same with Brunswick. So there's so many good options from all of the companies that it's best just to kind of keep your options open. Tori just bought a new Rockstar Solid and amped. There you go. Yeah, I might have to drill a new amped again or use some Back to Life on mine. I have 2 more in my closet, so maybe it's best just to drill one, but I don't know. We'll see. I would like a new one. It's been almost a year now since the amped came out. It was mid-October is when it first came out. Which is kind of crazy. It's now been a year since I was sent a bowling ball. Woof. Chevy Boy, I'm a speed dominant bowler. My league bag is Zero Mercy Solid, Max Effect, and Identity. Looks pretty good right now. And the big thing there is to know how you throw the ball. Knowing you're a speed dominant guy is really nice for that because you know those stronger balls are going to be a good option. You have all stronger and you know those are going to be a better play. You don't really need the hustles or anything like that or the vibes because you know you're speed dominant. So knowing how you throw a ball is more important than just picking a random bowling ball. It's way more important. Gabriel, what's up? No, it is not a Pink Slush Alani. It is Bubblicious Strawberry Splash from Ghost. Their first iteration with Bubblicious. This is my favorite one. It's that Bubblicious flavor, but with a little strawberry kick. Awesome. Absolutely fantastic. Jaybird, me and my little man need a recommendation on a ball or two for sport shots. He only has the Venom Shock and Heckler Hybrid. Honestly, I would recommend like a Concept or some kind of urethane or something super, super slow. So Combat Hybrid, Alert, Venom. Oh, you said Venom Shock, right? Yeah, he has a Venom Shock. Then I wouldn't go Alert. I would say like, yeah, Combat Hybrid, Alpha Crux, Phase 2. What else is in that range right now? GB5, I guess. Something like that might be good. Tori, anyone besides Zach got any thoughts on what the new Motive ball would be? Yep, I will keep my lips sealed. I will not be saying much about it. It's just so crazy that they sent that. That's kind of fun. It's kind of humorous, honestly, that somebody got that, especially just I don't think he's a staff or anything either. Can you talk about times where you would use a shiny solid or dull pearl? Yeah, absolutely. Shiny solid is a really good transition because a lot of pearl balls, when they are out of box shiny, they're too clean and too quick. So, but the dull solid balls are just too smooth and slow. Like, let's say you grab a Phase 2. Go easy. Phase 2 comes out of the box. You bring it down to 2,000 grit because for some reason it comes out of the box at 3,000 grit. You bring it to 2,000 grit. Cool. You throw that. Hey, I need to go to something shiny. You want to try a Phase 2 pearl. Well, that's out of box at 1,500 grit polished. You're like, man, that thing's too quick and clean. I need something in between. Well, that's where a shiny solid would come into play because that bridges that gap between that super dull and super shiny. So those are the best times. Same with the dull pearl. We'll do the same thing. OG Warren, what would be a good ball for a bowler starting her very first league? Nice. That's awesome. Vibes, hustles. Those are generally the top 2. James O'Brien, the Equinox Hybrid is perfect for one step up in shape and strength from a P2 solid. It'll be, I mean, its length will probably be a little longer, but the down lane reaction will be a lot quicker. Jake, I just got a Vengeance Returns and left 10s and 8s left and right. I think it's rolling out too early and hitting weak. Yes, that is what that would mean. Should I look for a high RG ball to conserve energy for that shot? Yes, I would go for something weaker. Absolutely. Mike, you should look at what the mass bias is on the executioner. Oh, yeah, it's like 031 or something crazy. Yeah, it's 031. It's insane. Intel, can you please mention BVL's mission to 2 million? I don't even know what that is. To 2 million. Let's look it up. We have to verify our connection, I guess. Odd. BVL, the Bowlers to Veterans link, is the longest running charity. Mission 2 million, with the goal of raising $2 million in a single year. It was opened up at the USBC convention in Reno. The launch follows record-breaking fundraiser, which raised $1.8 million in a year, with $1 million from local and state USBCs. Oh, that is awesome. That's, if you're a bowler and you want to donate to veterans, that is a fantastic way to do that. So if you want to do that, BVL is going to be a great option. I am a little shocked that I never heard about that until now. Weird. Jake, I was looking at the Next Factor for a high RG ball. I think it's a great option. I think it's an awesome piece. Let's see. Let's catch up a little bit over here. BMW, what do you think is a better fit for a weaker ball? Hustle VP or Monsoon? If you want quick, go VP. If you want smooth, go Monsoon. Colin, Hustle is genuinely a goated ball. Oh, it's the Hustles are still the best. Like, I was trying to make like a GOAT arsenal today. That was going to be a video series I had. And I honestly wanted to put the Hustles on it because I think those are just, they've been around for so long and they've been so good for so many people. So I feel like they fall into kind of the entry level GOAT category at this point, especially because the other brands don't really have much that actually sticks around in that category. Like the Vibes do, but that's about it. But Vibes versus Hustles, I feel like the Hustles have a little more, history. I won't even want to say history, like a little more popularity since they've been coming out. Jake B threw my Evoke Hysteria for the first time yesterday. Looked good and smashed your ankle. Bad on the second part, good on the first part. What a mishap to get an unreleased ball. I know, it's crazy. Matthew, did you ever throw the Hype Solid? No, I never threw any of the Hyped series balls. I never threw a single one. I wanted the Hyped Solid for a little bit, but that was about it. I drilled a good amount of the Hype Pearls. I drilled a good amount of those. And Meg, you use your concept almost exclusively. What should I add? Concept burns up on me sometimes. You're going to want something super weak and clean. That's going to be really good for another spot. RJ, please answer my question, buddy. We have a lot of comments right now, man. Trying to get through as many as I can. Sorry, man. But I think you're going to want something a little cleaner and quicker. Honestly, you might want... Man, that's going to be a tough spot because you want something still slow like a concept. Level. Level's discontinued. You can't really get that well. God, that's going to be really tough. That is a tough gap. What's post-concept? If you have, especially if you have the concept shiny, that makes it kind of tougher. That's where you almost want like a Hustle SOS. Might not be a bad play for you. Sealance, you gave your Johnny Petraglia reactive ball some 1000 grit sanding. What would be a modern replacement? If it's a melee jab, honestly, GB5 Pearl. GB5 Pearl will be close. And John LaBelle, go next level with Herso insoles. $200 to $800 a pair. Whew, that's a lot. Reagan, been watching the Hypes reviews of some swag balls. Thinking of getting the Craze Tour Sol as my first ball, especially since swag stuff seems a little cheaper. Yeah, the big thing I want to let you know that that Charles and Luke and a couple of, well, Luke hits it actually pretty well, is those balls are going to be best for rev dominant guys. If you are not rev dominant, I would not go for it because they're going to be very, very weak. Swag has the weakest equipment in the game by far. Their cover stocks are just way weaker than the other brands. So if you're okay with a ball hooking super late and that Craze Tour is going to be a little bit smoother, then that can be a good option for you. But if you don't, then it's a different story. Cool, you don't answer. Okay. Dance for me, monkey. Dance. Steph Bowler, I've been trying to understand the ball motion and what I actually need to do after the fresh. Transition's one of the hardest things to deal with in bowling. If you need to shell up or down, the best thing to do is guess and test. League is going to be the best way to try to guess what, or try to figure out like what reaction is best once the lanes start to transition, because it's invisible. Sometimes you do need to ball up, sometimes you need to ball down. It's so much an it depends situation. So try to test different things. Like when you hit transition in League, your ball's burning up, hooking too much, 10 pinning, whatever it may be. Try something different. Try balling up, see what it does. Like, oh, that didn't work. That cost me a couple frames. Oh, well, it's 1 week. It's one, half of a game of League that's in a 100-game season. Not a big deal. Then try to shell down, ball down, see how that works. Let's see. Nomar, I might try adjusting the surface on my hammerhead solid. I would like to get a little earlier hook. I heard you say that to someone last stream. Yes, please do that. And Angel, how do you feel about urethane on typical house shot? I don't think it's a good idea, not because I'm like anti-urethane house shot because you destroy my line. I think it's bad because it actually hurts you, is my big thing with urethane. Is if you are using urethane on a house shot, you can absolutely go nuts, but it's going to make your room for error a lot lower than other bowling balls will, because urethane doesn't create crazy entry angle. And on house shots, you want that entry angle because you want to carry as much as you can. Urethane is generally going to carry less than the other brands. That's why lower rev rates don't have a great time with urethane, because it doesn't create that kick and that entry angle down lane. So you can throw whatever you want on a house shot. I don't care, but as an educator, I recommend trying other things. If you want to throw urethane-like balls, I would try an NU 2.0, a concept. Those are going to be a little bit sharper down lane and be able to get through the pins a little bit better. Unfortunately, a lot of the guys who like urethane on house, they only throw it on house. That's the only thing they throw, period. Like they will only throw their urethane and they think it's going to be good, but then they only average about 190 a night and their high series can only be about 650, 660. So I recommend against it. And Samaj, thoughts on getting a 900 Global Cove as your benchmark? Yeah, I think that's a good option. I think that's a great one there. It's super smooth, so be ready for that. FYI for everybody, I am about 20 minutes behind on chat. We got a lot of people hopping in and hanging out today, so hopefully you guys are enjoying things so far. Make sure to follow or subscribe if you haven't. Best way to help support. And if I don't answer your question tonight, you can shoot me a DM. I'm available on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Patreon. If you want to jump over there, you can get some direct contact with me. I have DMs open in every single platform, so if I don't answer your question tonight, there's a lot of you, so apologies. But if that happens, you can shoot me a DM on the side in any of those other platforms. I will always be available to answer as many questions as you guys have, or email as well. I should say email as well is open. So that's in all of my descriptions as well. Otherwise, ZVL Bowling on every platform. But make sure you follow or subscribe when you're there if I've helped you out at all. It's the best way to help support the channel. I don't take any money for answering questions, so. And this is weirdly still one of the only places on YouTube where people answer bowling questions. It's still odd to me that no one else has tried doing something like this. I know a couple guys on TikTok tried and kind of fell off, but no one else does something like this, which is odd. Very odd. Reagan, you're thinking of we talked about that one. 40-year-old bowler, what's up, man? 1-game match. Loser gives one of the other followers a bowling ball. Deal, I'm in. As long as the ball is under $70. Slap, I'm actually trying to apply my first coaching session for my friend's son's high school. Ooh, trying to apply for my first coaching position. Any tips and drills? One of the bigger things with coaching like high school programs for bowling is actually just general coaching tips, not even bowling specific tips, just generally how to coach kids is going to be more important at that point, where the bowling stuff is very important, obviously, but how to coach kids the proper ways is more important. You can have some of the smartest bowlers in the world who try to be coaches and they suck at it because they don't know how to actually talk to kids and coach kids and be able to learn what the kid needs to be able to learn. So try looking some stuff up with that, and that should be able to help out. Yofo, my ascent hooks too early when rolling up the twig and hardly hooks when I move in. Is that the lane, me, or the ball? Oh, that's the ball. That's what the ascent and all those super weak balls do. They're too low of differential to be able to play in the oil. Lance, my alley is only talking about the strategy. Andrew, I have a snapshot pearl in the hybrid. True cut pads are the best. Thank you, Mr. Hicklin. Yeah, I use those all the time too. Hybrid at 2000, great. Yeah, I would go hybrid at 2000 and then keep the snapshot shiny and you're good to go. Wayne, as soon as the strategy hits Buddy's clearance, it's all mine. Yeah, that's a good call. Nate, Ion Max, Rockstar, Tour Dynamics, Next Factor, High Road. What 2 to 3 balls would you recommend adding? You probably need something above that Next Factor, something stronger but quicker. Transform Pearl isn't a bad play. That fits in that category pretty well. I think the Phase 2 Pearl will be a little too slow. But Transform Pearl, Equinox Hybrid, I don't think would be the play either. I think it really would be that Transform. That Transform is very good right now. Otherwise, there really isn't. Vengeance Returns wouldn't be bad as well. That's been doing pretty well lately. So one of those two might be the play. But otherwise, I mean, yeah, that Tour Dynamics is fairly weak. So you don't really need like a Monsoon or something below it. Same with maybe a High Road. There really isn't much you could put below that. It'd have to be a Hustle VP. I've heard the Hustle SOS is one of the best hustle balls of the last couple of years. So that wouldn't be a terrible one, but I want to learn more about it. I got to talk to a few more people. Stu Williams told me that. He's like, this hustle is the GOAT. So I might have to quiz him a little bit more and be like, yo, why do you actually like this? Unfortunately, not an elbow brace. Due to elbow, I lose 2 inches in reach and I can't straighten my arm. Oh, that's not good. I'm really sorry for that. Oh, wow. Jillian already has the modern day Triple Crown. That's crazy. That is absolutely insane. What ball do you think Motive is discontinuing next? I would say Raptor Rain or Steel Forge. One of those two I feel like will be going soon. Big Peter, do you think the hyped up could fit under your gremlin? Yes, absolutely. Yofo, you detox your balls in the trunk of your hot car. Oh boy. And Jillian did not do too well in the events in between. Yeah, I know. That was a crazy thing. Like, she's won the most, but she's not even close in points, which is a good thing for people to realize, is that the Player of the Year race is not just who won the most in the season. You have to also have that consistency. That's why a lot of people actually, I had a video go out Tuesday where it was bowling hot takes. And one of the hottest of the hot takes was EJ's overrated. And there were some people actually arguing with it saying, well, yeah, he only won once. He's not clutch. It's like, dude, he's been in that situation so many times. Like, as a bowler, would you rather, win twice and miscut the rest of the year or do what he did? I would do what he did in a heartbeat. Give me his season 10 times out of 10. Like, the consistency is what does it. And then you generally end up winning a couple times as well if you keep putting yourself in that spot. Slap, the Synthesis is a great sleeper ball. It's getting ignored too, which is sad. Michael, I stopped bowling for 4 years, went straight to the pro shop to get the fit and span checked, and they said it was the same. Huh. That sometimes happens too. There's some random situations where that happens. Yofo, it's always the play to stay in the oil rather than balling down. If so, why? Does that give you more misroom? Yes. If you can chase the oil line left, that'll get, if you're righty, if you chase it left, lefty, you chase it right. Sorry, my directions are backwards for what you guys are seeing. It's all mirrored and all that jazz. But I promise I know left from right. But yes, if you can play in the oil more, that gives you misroom both left and right, because that's what you want to have. If you ball down and you try playing in the friction, that generally doesn't give you misroom right. It sometimes gives you misroom left, but it usually makes your misroom a little bit smaller. You want that max misroom as possible. Let's see. Where did that one go? Nate, I feel like there was... Oh, there it is. Less grip pressure from Nate. Yeah, the less grip pressure, the merrier. That's what... Yeah, Will has been pushing pretty hard, which is really good. That's kind of the modern way, is the less grip pressure, the more you can have just on that entire hand, the more pressure and weight you have on the whole hand, the better. Now, don't tell Facebook that, because some of my Facebook comments, because when I posted my video about pitches and all that, and like what's a proper fit, they were not happy. There's a lot of guys who have they want to have that super long span and they want their fingers to be absolutely fried up by the time they're 50. And that was generally some of them as well. So don't do that. That's bad. Your hands should not hurt when you bowl. Lamont is starting the league with an Alpha Crux, Ion Max Pearl, Bionic, Phase 2 Pearl, Monsoon, and Next Factor. Alpha Crux, Ion Max Pearl, Bionic, Phase 2 Pearl, Monsoon. Yeah, that hits pretty much every category. And then once you start a little bit, you can kind of feel what balls are needed and what balls are not needed. So I think that can be a really good one. So that's another great tip with building a bag, is just try to cover as many bases as you can, and you don't have to bring everything all the time. Like that's never something that's a necessity for going bowling. Like you don't have to bring all your equipment every time. And like generally for me, I know I have a lot of bowling balls behind me, but I have like kind of a limit that I usually bring to tournaments or league. Like league, I'll bring 3 balls and a spare ball. For tournaments, I'll either bring 6, 8, or 11 because of just bag space, and that just helps me have the right amount of options. But there's a lot of bowling balls I bring where like I'm not going to bring my concept very often on the longer patterns or on the easy patterns, but likewise, I'm not going to bring my Ion Max on the easy patterns as well. Versus the Bionic is definitely coming on the easier patterns, or my Typhoon is going to be coming a lot as well. So it really depends what you're kind of going for. Pokemon, if they use red oil, Hustle, X-Ray is the GOAT. And that I don't know much about, unfortunately. I wish I did, but I just cannot help much on like what oil pattern is what for them. Michael, I have a teammate who's just coming back he bowled in the 90s and is the only one. Oh boy. What ball should I get him for house shots? He used urethane but wants to get into reactive. He might like something like a Hustle SOS or a Vibe or something like that. Just something a little bit weaker, but still not going to be too quick down lane. Jake B, wait, what happened with the unreleased ball that was spoken of? Yeah, so Motive's going to have a new ball coming out sometime in the next month or two. They're going to be announcing it probably just based on scheduling, but I did have a viewer who was accidentally sent one. And I won't mention what the ball is or anything. I won't mention the specs or anything, but he sent it to me like, hey, I was supposed to get a Jackal V2 from Motive, and they sent me this one. I think it's the new ball. And it looks like it's a new ball, or it's an overseas one. I don't know which, but just based on, it's pretty easy to tell when a ball is overseas and when it's not. So it seems like it's not an overseas ball, but yeah, hopefully that comes out sooner rather than later. And Blackout, thank you for the follow. Addy HCS, you have an absolute power and a Viking for the fresh. You need something above them. That's where like an Alpha Crux, a Viking Conquest, Zero Mercy Solid, Jackal Onyx, things like that'll fit. I feel like the Lethal Venom will probably be DC'd first. You're right. Yeah, Lethal Venom will probably be booted before those others. Good call. B. Dean, what ball would complete my fall bag? IQ, you have an IQ Solid and a Typhoon. The house shot tends to run drier on the left side. You might like a ball below the IQ as well, like a Hustle SOS maybe. Like that fits kind of in between them. Otherwise, you could go down to like a Raw series ball or like even a Fury. A Fury could be a really good call. It's going to be cheaper as well. It might not be bad. One Pin Freddy. I'm constantly talking about the Lethal Venom, but I want to look into a new benchmark. I've been using the Lightning Blackout since its debut, or yeah, I'm guessing Lightning Blackout since its debut. Guessing that's what LB is. 3 nights a week, 17 miles an hour, 225 revs. If you want another one similar to that, unfortunately, Motive has nothing in that category. You'd have to go like Venom Shock, but otherwise, you can until we get a Nebula Solid. Hopefully, that comes one day. Otherwise, you'll have to go to a different brand, like a Phase 2 is going to be close-ish, or a GB5 is going to be close-ish. Peter, excited for the Hyped Up. Have you owned any Hyped Line balls? I never have. I owned an Electrify, but I've never actually owned any of the Hypes. I was tempted to drill the Hyped Up, but decided against it just with what I have in my bag right now. It's not really needed. Like, I have an IQ Tour Winner, which is an overseas IQ. I don't usually get weaker on the dull side than like an Ion Pro or even an Alert. Those balls usually don't roll well for me, so I don't really need anything there. It was my thought. Jim Schuster, you love buying bowling balls. I have the Zero Mercy Solid, the Strategy, and the Bionic. Thinking of buying the Fallout. Yeah, Fallout would work well because it's below the Zero Mercy, but it's smoother than a Bionic. Pokemon, will you be trying any of CTD's products when you submerge the ball, where you submerge the ball completely? I don't think they have any products where you submerge the ball. Not that I'm aware of. I mean, I luckily have their page up. I was reading one of their blogs earlier, but let me look. A lot of their stuff are like the sprays. They don't really have any. Yeah, I'm not seeing any actual ways that you submerge the ball. Ron has found through his research that that's actually bad for the ball. So I don't think that is actually any CTD products do that. I will still be reviewing CTD products when they come out for sure, but I don't think there's anywhere you submerge your ball at all. Not that I'm aware of. Jason Fox, 3.0 Dynasty, a Combat Hybrid, an Energize, an Equinox Solid. That is a very asymmetrical bag. I like it. I think it looks really good. I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. The Energize is kind of hit or miss at times, but I would say it's up there. He's talking about the clear that was replaced by Back to Life. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what that was. I actually did not know that. Tattooed French Fry. Are the TrueCut ceramic pads out by CTD yet? No, they are not. No ceramic pads are out to the public yet. Mike predicts the new Moda Ball will be orange and red. Now, what other colors would you guys think it could be? Dylan Meredith, if you're still here, if you, I know you weren't very happy that I didn't answer your question yet, but we are finally to yours. What is a perfect ball for me? Being a speed dominant player who throws the ball 17 miles an hour, doesn't have a lot of hook. I have a Typhoon and a Concept. Yeah, those are very weak. You're going to like those stronger bowling balls, like a Transformer, like a Zero Mercy Solid, like a Raptor Rain, like a Jackal Ghost V2. A lot of those bowling balls are going to be better for you than something as weak as a Typhoon and a Concept. Biggie Smalls on TikTok says CTD does offer a product that submerges the ball to be clean. Legendary. Thank you for the sub, by the way. Let me know. Yeah, let me know. Does offer a product. Like I couldn't find it in my quick search, but let me know if I was missing it. James O'Brien with a lot of bowling balls. Anything else I need? Equinox Hybrid, Vibo, Phase 2 Solid, Road Warrior, Surge Hybrid. I like it with an IQ too. I think that looks pretty good. What about a red pop flavored Ghost? They have the they had the raspberry or the red berry ones. That was a that was a Sour Patch Kids flavor. That was really good. I don't know if they make it anymore. James Garza is a Furia weak ball. Yes, Furia is one of the weakest balls on the market. Angel currently have an Electrify, New Blue, and a Track Theorem Solid. Any suggestions on a new ball for League? Mainly use Theorem for most of League. Electrify, New Blue, Theorem Solid. Any suggestion on a new ball? Mainly use Theorem. If you mainly use the Theorem, you might want something around that. Like the new Theorem Delta could be a good play for you since you already like the original. Jaybirds, two-hander, slow speed, high revs. Thought about the Jackal V2. Need to make it versatile. Yeah, I don't think that would be a good play then if he's very rev dominant. Richard Greenlaw, is it too late to get the free chamois from Beef and Barnesy? Were you the one that won, Richard? Because there was one. I forgot who the second person was. I sent out the one, but I didn't get the other person didn't hit me up. So if that was you who ended up winning it, shoot me an email or DM, please. Okay, it's called the Jacked. Oh, interesting. Enhances ball motion, drive harder through the back end, called Jacked. I have never seen this product before. It looks old. It looks a little older. 2024, not that old. I do not know what that product was, in all honesty. Brooks Walter, what's going on? Plan on replacing my Equinox Solid for a Spawn. What are your thoughts? I have a Synthesis above that. Synthesis and Spawn might be too close together. I wouldn't recommend that. I think you still need something a little bit weaker than that Synthesis. So an original Evil Eye or even a Black Widow Dynasty might fit a little bit better. One Pin Freddy, your local lanes is Maple Family Centers. Donate $250K to $500K per year. That's crazy. That is crazy. Joseph Ross, a lot of stats. You're a lefty, pretty balanced, a lot of rotation, little tilt. You bowl on 10-year-old HPLs. My starting 6 is a Spare Ball, Primal Ghost, Evil Eye, Combat Pearl, Street Rally. It seems like you got it all down. I like that a lot, but it looks like, oh, your Combat Hybrid is pinned down. Okay, I like that a lot. And I did see Dougie Fresh see you at Bowlerama tomorrow. Yeah, this is a good, I did announce it a little bit, but If you are in the Iowa area tomorrow, I will be down at Bolorama Lanes in Des Moines, Iowa from 1 to 5 p.m. for a Storm matchmaker. Storm's been sending me to a couple of different matchmakers right now, and they've been super fun to go to. So I was at one for Junior Gold. I was at one for the Midwest Youth Championships in the Upper Midwest, in Upper Minnesota. Now I'm going to be down in Des Moines tomorrow, 1 to 5. I believe it's only $10 to compete to enter as well, and it's 4 hours. You can throw as many balls as you want. Equinox Hybrid is going to be there, so I will be getting clips with the Equinox Hybrid. I will probably be trying to throw in my street shoes just to get a couple clips of it, or trying to get videos of people throwing it. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Otherwise, if you're in the Iowa area, especially the Des Moines area, make sure to come by 1 to 5 p.m. Bolorama Lanes. Should be a fun time. Andrew Burns, your IQ Ruby is coming out of the shop this week. Nice. I actually have an IQ Emerald coming very soon. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Shout out to Sweet Baby Jazzy B for that one. Cam G, I bowl around a pretty high rev rate, so a bit more rev dominant. You have a Proton Physics, an Ion Max, Optimum Idol, Purple Hammer, and a spare ball. You got an IQ Sapphire. No, I think you made a great choice. And Dylan Meredith, cool, you don't answer, in all caps. Oh, thank you, Michael, for answering back. Oh, Lordy, yeah. No, I'm like, for full transparency, I am currently 21 minutes behind on YouTube, and I'm about 10 minutes behind on TikTok. It's just, my goal is to answer as many DMs as I can, try to not leave anybody empty-handed by any means. And, you know, there's a lot of people here, which is awesome. It's a good problem to have, but yeah, apologies to you, Dylan Meredith. I'm guessing you left, but if you did not, I don't really have much to give you. Sorry. Doesn't look like you're here anymore. Nah, probably not. Whatever. Oh well. 300 Dreamin', I've seen the strategy thrown once. And King Lion, thank you for the follow. One pin, changed my display name, and I'm no longer showing up as a ZVL subscriber. What'd you change it to, Freddie? Who were you? Even Pyramid. Yeah, the cleaning product is jacked. Guy, man, dude. I love that name, bro. I've got a Bionic, Ion Pro, and a Rockstar Amp. Missing anything? I think it's a good middle-of-the-road arsenal. Like, you have a lot of medium stuff, but if that works for you, that's perfect. Yeah, Native Nighthawk. Soak the ball and pull all the oil out without using heat and damage the ball. That's not what it looked like. I mean, let me look again. It looked like... Let me read it again. Immersion-based products. Oh, that's an old video. What ball is that in the background? It's a Halo Pearl in the background. This is from 2019. We're not only mastered restoration. Hey, Jordan Young, thank you for the 99 stars, man. Yeah, so amped is enhancing your back-end reaction without altering the surface. Building on the success takes performance to new heights. Oh, jacked sensors on the mid lane, so it gives you more continuous ball motion. Witness a significant surge. So it doesn't take the oil out of the ball, by the way. Tachify, a polymer additive, boosts performance and extends the lifespan. Jack also repels dirt, keeping your ball cleaner for longer, but it's not a bowling ball cleaner. So yeah, it does not actually take the oil out of your ball, but it prevents it from getting dirty, and it boosts the mid lane. So the one thing I've learned with getting closer to Ron is that his products are legit. So when he says these things, like, the man's not a liar. So whatever he has on his product, like, that's the truth. One of the big things that he was saying to me is, like, if you love him or hate him, like, you'll never say his products are BS. And he's right. So I would recommend trying that stuff if you are curious. I probably won't be trying that jacked one. I'll try some of their other stuff for sure. But I do have to get my my sauce back. I did try the sauce. It actually does work. I need to get that back. I should send a text about that quick. Oh, why do I have 45 notifications? Oh, no. Oh, no. Let's see. We'll check with him. I'm going to be seeing him tomorrow, so see if he has my sauce. Yeah, it actually tastes good, too. All right, let's keep going. Sorry. Slap. I don't use urethane unless I'm playing on the birthday party pattern. Yep. Absolutely. And that, I mean, it can sometimes work. It depends on the situation. It's good to know where urethane works for you. Yeah, urethane and no tap is a really good play because what urethane does is it leaves a lot of corner pins. And that's what you want to do in no tap. You want to leave 10 pins because that means you're striking. 300 Dreamin', get my vaporize drilled. Oh, you lucky. Oh, that ball's the goat. That vaporize needs to still be around, Brunswick. We need it back. And K1N, thoughts on the upcoming Ruby bowling sensor? I am excited to learn more of it. I am supposed to be having that sensor coming to me to test out. So hopefully I can test it out for you guys soon. I haven't received it yet, but I'm hoping to get it soon. I want to try some of those sensors out. I did see Bowling Nerd over on TikTok. Make sure to go check him out. He has a couple reviews with the Witsy one, and it looks really cool so far. I haven't seen anything with the new F5 one from Storm yet. I know Daria posted a picture of it, but there haven't been any actual like play tests of it. Hopefully those are coming. I know Hank said like by October, so hopefully we get that soon. Any thoughts on the Roto Gremlin, Wicked Gremlin? You have the Pearl and you love it. For what I've seen with the Wicked, if you like the original Gremlin, you will really like the Wicked Gremlin. The Tour X is not going to be a great ball for you, but you will like the Wicked Gremlin. So if you want something smoother than your original Gremlin, grab the Wicked. I do have one, and it looks pretty all right. I'm going to try polishing it. I heard from a little birdie named Stu that polishing it makes it look really good. So I'm going to try that in a little bit. Dylan Meredith, I did not answer questions around you, brother. Sorry about that. If you thought that. Jaybird, I bowl against a guy who used urethane on house. He shot 278. Oh, it's possible. Yeah. I mean, you can shoot 278 with a house ball too. Doesn't mean it's going to be consistently getting 278. Oh, no, all good, Native. Don't worry, man. Bomber, I was bowling at my home bowling center and it was so flooded. My Ion Max was at 360. That's dull. That is dusty. And Jenny is picking up the Criterion Inverse and the Pink and Silver Fury. I love that. French fry, got to catch them all. Pack, what is the difference between the purple and blue concept? Almost nothing. Price is the main one. If you want to spend an extra $300 and you're in the States, go get a purple concept. If you don't want to do that and you want to be smarter than that, go get the blue concept. The purple is not worth it if you're in the States. If it's $200 more expensive. Like, if you can get it for the same price, you can grab it to be different, sure, but it hasn't been tested enough to know what it truly does, and Storm doesn't post much about the overseas stuff. So, if you can find it, good, congrats. I know a few guys have hit me up and like, I'm going to go buy it. I'm like, sure, you can. I mean, it's more money, so go nuts. Carter got a Storm Infinite Physics. Great ball. Infinite is sick. That was probably the number... I would say the second best physics ball was the Infinite. Physics is number 1, Infinite number 2, Astro number 3 would be the physics line stuff. Physics Blackout, unfortunately, was kind of doo-doo. Kind of bad. Phil Baller, you have a lefty question on a house shot. Which ball would be a better step down from a 0? Tour V1, Phase 2, or Ethos Hybrid? Ooh, I would go Ethos Hybrid, honestly, which is a weird one. I know. And Hazik, thank you for the rose, and Heavy Roll Society, thank you for the heart me. I would say that because that's going to be better from straighter, get through the front, but not be too quick. The Phase 2 is still going to be early, and the Tour V1 might be a little too quick. So that's where that might be a good option. Otherwise, Tour V1 would be the number 2 option. Jeremy Kinuan, I coached Little League Baseball. I learned every kid learns in a different way. That's exactly it. That is exactly it. Is kids, and it's even adults, kids, adults, whoever you are, everyone learns differently. Some people need a visual of it. Some people need to just read it and they're good to go. Some people need to actually feel their body do it. Learning exactly how you learn is really, really important. For me, I need my body to feel exactly what needs to happen. I need to analyze and feel it. I can't read it in a book and then make it happen. It just doesn't really work that way. But other people are more of like the guess and testers. Let them go try and just do it on their own. Some people just be able to show them a video and they're good to go. Like, it all depends on who you are, and it's kind of all over the place. War Thunder, for old wooden house, would weak solid or weak pearl be better? Weak solid will be a little bit better, actually. Ralph, what's the oldest ball in your bag that you still use? Me? Ooh, I'm going to lean back on this one because I got to think. What is the oldest ball in my bag? My Phase 2 is from 2025. My Rockstar is from 2025, and I used that one this last weekend. Let me look. My Next Factor is from early 26. My Viking is from October. My Amped is from last October. My Effect Tour is actually a new one. I have a VIP. What is it? VIP, EJ VIP, the Sigma one, I think. I don't remember the exact name of it. I have one of those. I have an old Reality. That thing's from 2022. I still have my original Phase 2 from 2020, my Axiom from 2020. Those aren't really in my lineup that much anymore. So if I had to get like what is in my lineup that I use a lot, maybe even Turbo X, that's a little bit of an older one, probably 2 or 3 years old. So there's a couple that I have there. Let's see. Joseph, I have a Synthesis. It's a red shirt for me. Being ignored hard, and at $125, I couldn't ignore it. That is fair. G-Men, can you explain when bowlers say front to back and not side to side? Absolutely. So what bowlers mean when they say the front part of the lane versus the back part of the lane? The important thing is the front part of the lane is actually like the first 30 feet of the lane. Like if you are standing on the foul line, those first 30 feet are the front part of the lane. The last 30 feet are more of that back part of the lane. So that is what it means when people say front to back. That's what they refer to. Left to right, of course, is left to right. But what they mean is when you throw a bowling ball, you're going to watch it hook. Now, the way that your eyes want to see the hook is how left to right angular it is. So if you get that ball, it goes out to the 5 board and it hits the pocket, you would say, oh, that moved 10 boards. But in reality, what causes it is how early or late the bowling ball hooks. Because if you can read a ball that's going to hook, if you can read that ball's hook earlier or later, that's going to help you a lot more. The side to side can change all the time depending on oil length, oil pattern, how you throw it, all this jazz. The front to back is a little harder to change. So like an Ion Max, for example, one of the strongest balls on the market, that has early hook. That wants to hook very close to you. Versus an IQ Sapphire, that wants to hook very late, so a lot closer to the pins. Now, the left to right is going to change depending on the situation. That front to back hook is never going to change. The Ion Max will always be earlier. The IQ Sapphire will always be later. So when you read a reaction, seeing that left to right doesn't matter as much. It's that front to back, which matters even more. Let's see, Isaac Norris, you have a Vex. That is the first time I've heard anybody mention the Vexed in a long time. How would they fit with a Zen 25? As a two-handed lefty who is slightly rev dominant, what would you recommend? I would go Ion Pro Solid. It's a little bit smoother than the Vex. The Vex is a little quicker than you'd expect. GB5 is Ebonite. Can't use that in PBA. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Yeah, Ebonite is A-OK. Hey, Tom Kelly, what's going on? Over on Facebook, how you doing? Yeah, Ebonite's A-OK in any competition. And Columbia 300 is as well if you have C300 balls. They just can't be used in PBA. But who cares? Most of us here don't bowl PBA stuff. 300 Dreaming, do you know why lane shine causes the alert to be more angular? That's with every ball. Every ball, lane surface will cause it to be weaker and quicker. If a ball starts shiny, then it's going to make it earlier and smoother. But other balls, it's going to make it weaker and quicker. So if you have any ball at 2000 grit, it's going to be early and smooth. By the time it gets lane shine, it's going to be weak and quick. Brooks Walter wants to replace the Equinox Solid for a Spawn. Oh, we talked about that one a little bit. Gator, have you ever used the Reality Check? No, I have not. I have not at all. That was one I skipped. Gabe Strop, no classic show for you this year. You were missed. Hope all is well. Hey, thank you so much. Yeah, I was sent out to the Kansas City one, so I wasn't able to make the Vegas one because of that. But hopefully it was a good time. And Mo, what's going on? How you doing? Hayden King, how you doing, man? IQ Sapphire, Wicked Gremlin, Alpha Crux, Ion Max Pearl, all drilled up yesterday. That's a good arsenal. It's a good lineup, that's for sure. What is going on over here? Oh, funny. Celtic, he's talking the clear that was replaced. Okay, got that there. Awesome. Sorry, gonna have to miss a couple. Michael, there's a CTD back to life product. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the jacked. Gator, am I using the Reality Check in the gem if I'm bowling? Or you are using that? I'm bowling in high school. That's a good play. I mean, it's going to be super strong. They're both big ASIMs, but that should be fine. If you want something weaker, grab a symmetrical ball of any kind. Jack needs something between the Rockstar and Hustle M&M. Phase 2 Pearl, Rocket AI, IQ Sapphire, Monsoon, IQ Tour, solid, balls like that. Jonathan, my uncle has cleaned his arsenal in the bathtub with soap and hot water for decades. To this day, the best and most consistent bowler I know. 230 average and a handful of wards per year. You can do whatever you want. The science proves that that's not the best for bowling balls. Now, being able to do it like in the urethane days, sure, go nuts. But with reactive balls absorb liquids. So it does cause issues. That is what science has shown. And that's what creating the difference has seen. Unfortunately, bowling, we're in a tough spot because nobody does scientific checks like they do in other sports. Where like to know, I don't know, what would be a basic one? Like don't drink bleach, for example. There have been scientific studies to show that is something to live by and to not drink bleach. Versus bowling, we don't get those tests. And if we did, the only place that did really was CTD, and they found that it's not the best to soak your bowling balls in hot water and soap and to go and take a bath with them. It's not the best. There are better and cleaner options that are better for the bowling ball. Brooklyn Freddy never lined up well with pearls. Your suggestions for a solid or full hybrid for a slightly speed dominant bowler who likes to play straighter. That makes sense. You probably don't like a lot of the shiny cleaner equipment. So then, yeah, solids are going to be a better play, or dull hybrids. Or even dull pearls will be good as well. French fry, but yet we live in an era where kids eat Tide Pods. Hey, that hasn't happened in a while. That was like 10 years ago. Jeez, get with the times, man. Come on. That was a wild time when that was a thing. That was crazy. They do look very cool, though. I mean, we use them, and they look great. Billy, I have an Arctic Vibe getting re-drilled at the shop, and my buddy went to gave you his Ricochet Pearl. Thinking about getting a Brunswick Alert to fit right in the middle. Probably won't fit in the middle. It'll be stronger than something like the Arctic Vibe, so that'll be probably the earliest ball in your bag. Let me catch up over here quick. Gabe, we hit. Hayden, we hit. Trenton Hansen, nothing like waking up from a nap and watching you live. Recharged and ready to talk bowling. Let's go, Trenton. Let's go. Stencil Nate, I have a Storm El Nino and a natural urethane. Ooh, those are oldies. Diggs, I look at the breakpoint / pins for my aiming point. Should I change that to look at the arrows? Whatever works for you. Some guys look at the arrows. Some guys look at the dots in front of the arrows. Some guys look for the breakpoint. Whatever is best. I'd experiment at a practice session. Try looking at whatever you look at now for a couple of shots. Then try to check like the arrows and then try the dots. See which one feels best for you. Bozzy, does a new Equinox Hybrid fit in with a bag of a Sub-Zero, Widow Tour V1, Ion Pro Solid, Rocket AI? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Which is another good lesson for building a bowling bag. We're just kind of like, my goal for this was kind of like sprinkle in kind of the nuggets of how to build a bag throughout the whole stream, if that helps people who listen afterwards as well. But that's a good one, is don't have just symmetrical balls or just asymmetrical balls. Just like don't have just solids or just hybrids or just pearls in your bag. You want to have a mixture. The more mixture you can have, the better. It's like going golfing. You don't want to bring 3 drivers when you go golfing. That's just a bad idea most of the time, I would assume. There's probably a challenge out there. Can I shoot par with just my driver? But generally, terrible idea. So you want to have that little bit of a mixture of stuff to be able to hit all situations. So don't put all your eggs in one basket, just like don't have the same core all over your bag and only that core. Because like, what would be a good example? The Venom Shock, for example. You can have a Venom Shock, a Hyper Venom, and a Venom Hysteria all in the same bag. They're 3 different balls, same core. I don't recommend just having those. You need different ones. There are situations where you're going to be like, you're going to throw a ball and the core does not match up with that pattern at all. Well, in that case, all of those Venom balls do not work anymore. So you want to have just that good mixture of things. Such a simple, amazing dish. Oh, dish, not duh. I thought that said duh for a minute. If you haven't tried pupusa, please do. But yeah, that is a big one to keep in mind when you're looking at these balls. I know everybody's asking for lineups, so that's going to be the first one to ask yourself. It's like, hey, do I only have asymmetrical balls or just symmetrical or just solids, things like that? Like, that would be bad. So make sure to get that first. Vic, Jackal Ghost V2, Black Venom, Steel Forge for League. What do you think? I think it looks good. If you need something else, and Nebula fits there as well. Best top end ball. Zero Mercy Solid is probably still the top dog in terms of most hook. Pat Downey, you have a certificate from a pro shop league at Poplar Creek. Nice. The Friday night King of the Hill location. Is a Venom Shock worth it? Oh, Venom Shock is one of the best balls on the market. Brooklyn Freddy, I never lined up. Oh, we hit you. Michael, do you like the Evil Eye Pearl or Spartan Pearl better for a speed dominant bowler? Oh, Spartan Pearl, hands down. The Evil Eye Pearl has a little bit too weak of a cover stock to actually match up, especially with speed dominant guys. Spartan Pearl is going to be a lot earlier. That's going to be a lot earlier. To Joe, Covert VIP, Full Effect, Black Widow Toxin, Solid, Piranha Solid, and Proton Physics, all pinned down for practice. Any overlaps are stupid choices. I mean, the Covert VIP and Toxin Solid could be close together. Same with the Proton Physics could fit in that same gap, especially everything being pinned down. Pinned down stuff tries to act a little more similar than like a bunch of stuff pin up, because all of it is just going to be lower differential. But I mean, it should be okay, especially for a practice session. Like, go nuts. What do you think about the Alpha Crux from Alberto? I think it's an awesome ball, although it is the smoothest bowling ball you can throw. So you cannot play very far left to right with it unless you have a lot of axis rotation. Jordan Young, what can I add to my bag for my first league? You have a Widow 2.0 right now and a Hammer Effect Tour. Yeah, I would go something a little bit quicker. So Black Widow Mania, looks like you like your Hammer bowling balls. Hammerhead Pearl fits that as well. If you want to go to a different brand, you could go like an Infinity Quest Pearl. That one's been pretty good for Brunswick. So something like that. And Papusa, loving the videos. I've gotten into bowling and wanted to know if I'm a speed or rev bowler so it can guide my next ball purchase. I currently have a Phase 2 Pearl and Tropical Surge. Yeah, so the best way to figure it out is going to be find out what your speed is off your hand and also your rev rate. There's a couple of good ways to find it. There are some manual ways to find those numbers. You can Google it to find those, but otherwise Lane Tracks is going to be a really good tool. They give you a bunch of free shots when you download. It's an iPhone-only app, unfortunately, but it'll help you find your rev rate a little bit better and your speed. Once you have that, you can go to my website, zvlbowling.com. I have a section called Educational Charts and Graphs, and it has a full graph that shows you, are you rev dominant or speed dominant? So if you didn't know, I'm going to throw that link in here just for everybody, just to know what you are. Right there. We're going to throw that into Restream. Bop. Enjoy. So hopefully that helps out a little bit. Hopefully that helps out just a little bit. But there is a chart on there that should be able to help you guys figure out what kind of bowler you are. Let's see. Shannon Person, I'm coming back from just shy of 20 years without bowling. Welcome back. It's been great getting back into the swing of things. Channels like yours have really helped figure out what's all changed. Hey, thank you so much for watching. I'm really glad I'm able to help you get back into the sport. Welcome back to bowling. I hope it's been a good time so far. If you have any questions, always please shoot them my way. Fast Dazeable. Is there another shoe close to the Dexter 9s? I dragged my toe and ruined shoes. So what I learned a lot when talking to Jason Guest, who is one of the higher ups at KR Strikeforce, is that they added like an actual toe dragging piece on their shoes. So if you do drag your toe, it's not going to cause problems. That's something that's being added to more modern day shoes. So what I recommend is looking at new shoes and trying to see if they have a little piece on that toe that you're looking for. Let's see. Matt Rowan, what's going on, man? I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Jim Bryant, love my 900 Global Origin EX. How close or far is the Wicked? The Wicked's kind of close. It's going to be quicker. It's going to be sharper down lane, but it is fairly close. Eric K, I just picked up a One Ovation. Yeah, it's super cheap right now. Dirt cheap. You're going to see in my video tomorrow that I actually missed that ball. So I have a cool video coming about building a bowling bag with only $750. Can I build a 6-ball bag with $750? And you're going to see what it turns into. It's kind of entertaining. Travis Roberts, all I got is a concept and a spare ball. What's a good ball to add? Something bigger, something shinier. Maybe a Hustle or a Typhoon or a Crown Victory or a Nebula, something like that. All right, Pat Downey uses a Motive Sigma. I'm guessing Sigma 2 or Pearl and a Venom Hysteria. Is Venom Shock worth it? Yeah, I think the Venom Shock would fit well. Phil Baller. I have a lefty question. Uh-oh. Throw it up 10. Next question. On a house shot, which ball would be better? Step down from Zero Mercy Solid, Hammer 2 or V1, face. Oh, we hit you already. Nathan Chudy, everyone go buy a ZVL chamois. What do you mean? Do you mean a chamois like this one that you can find at dhlab3d.com and you look up ZVL chamois and you're going to be able to find it for $25 after shipping and there's 5 different colors? Is that the one you mean? That'd be crazy. I mean, it's not like we have a Viking/Lakers/LSU colorway that is easily accessible and purchasable and also double layered of leather. Subliminal ads that aren't very subliminal. Thank you for the setup, Nate. Appreciate that. Taz, first 2 weeks of the league season, 675 and 715. You're going to marry your alert. Hey, I will gladly be there for you. I'll bring the rings up the aisle. I got you. Nomar, coaching and training is really hard. I work as a coach. Some people just get what I'm saying. Other people, you struggle. It's one of the hardest things. Sometimes you just can't get through to people because of how they learn. And yeah, Amazing Robin, visual learner. I watch and repeat. Exactly. It's the hardest thing to do, to figure out how you learn, because most people don't even know how they learn themselves. And that's something I got, I think, from YouTube videos probably about 10-ish years ago. So I had to really figure out how do I learn best? And that was really good for college, to know how do I learn stuff best and how do I get coached? Even though I haven't really had a coach since high school in a lot of ways, like an actual true coach, it's been good to know what I need to take in being a coach for myself. And by you, LSU shout out. Exactly. There you go. I got you. It's almost college football season, so I had to. But yeah, being able to know how you learn is very important. Andrew Burns, you have an attitude control. The ball starts hooking in midair. Oh yeah, that attitude control blew up Arsenal, or blew up lanes. Jazzy B, I accidentally picked up a physics raise. That's crazy. That's crazy. Hey, good promo for tomorrow from Bowlers Connection. Oh, really? Huh. All right, good. Did you say ZVL sent you with a heart on it? That would be great. No, I'll make sure to tell them tomorrow, because yeah, I'm working with Bowlers Connection Pro Shop tomorrow for the ball demo. Celtic, you're bowling on E&BC barrel oil pattern. I don't know what that is, man. I'm very sorry. If you let me know what that pattern actually is, then I can help out. Turbo X is like 2+ years old, I believe. Let me look it up quick. If you guys didn't know, I have a Google sheet that's accessible to everybody. It's bowling balls by category. You can find it on my website as well. Turbo X. Oh no, it isn't. It only came out in May of 2025. So year and a half, year and 3 months. I thought it was older than that. Weird. Striker bowls, would you recommend the Crown Vic or Crown Vic Pearl? Crown Victory, the regular one. I don't think the Pearl's a little too quick for most people. So I would go with the hybrid one. Bryce, thank you for the follow, man. And make a 6-ball arsenal for college bowling from the Brunswick brands with Zero Mercy Alert. You have Zero Mercy Alert, Zero Mercy Pearl, Stealth Mode Hybrid, Intel Tour if you're in college, just because we don't know what the urethane rules are yet. Otherwise, just go black hammer or purple hammer, and plastic. Bang. Doug Heim, what's going on Facebook? Dan, my oldest ball is a Gem Solid or an Axiom. Ooh, Gem Solid. Two goats of the day. Papusa, I currently have a Phase 2 Pearl. Interested in getting another ball. Speed Bowler, what do you recommend? Phase 2 would be good. Just solid Phase 2. Otherwise, if you don't want that, Game Breaker 5 from Ebonite, Brunswick Alert, Motive Venom Shock, all fantastic choices. Thinking of an Ion Max. It might be a little too much ball. I would go Viking Conquest over an Ion Max. A little bit weaker. And let's see. Seth White, do you think I should get the Viking Conquest if I have a Mesmerize? It's going to be a little too close together. I think they'll be a little too close. If you want to replace your Mesmerize, then yes. But otherwise, they fit the same part of the bag. And what would be my strike song? Oof. It's a good question. It's like a walk-up song in baseball. Like, I never had walk-up. I think I was able to pick a walk-up song once. I don't know why. I don't remember what it was for. I don't know what I would pick. That'd be it depends on the situation. Like, you got the basics, right? Like Bring 'Em Out, Enter Sandman, anything from Timmy Trumpets, like any EDM stuff. Like, I feel like right now with where I am, I'd find some kind of Millennium song, like a good beat drop of some kind, and go with that. For our wedding, we did Runaway by Galantis. insane. It was at, I forget what point. It was like at the minute mark, right when everything started dropping. Like that was a perfect time to do it. So I would do something like that. JC is a phase 2, high road, and surge. Good for a low rev house shot. Need new balls this league season. I think so. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Doug Heim, you use the track kinetic. It's your top ball. I know. I was looking forward to actually trying it out because no one throws it. So I was excited to be able to use it and let you know a little bit. Ooh, Runaway by Kanye. Yeah, Kanye, before he went absolutely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, had some sick songs that would work there. All of the Lights, Seth, yeah. God, if he didn't go crazy, the world would be different. Celtic, I've been looking for a ball that's similar to a snap lock, but for today's game. The best way to find something similar is look at Storm. Makes it a little easier. They like to reuse the cover stock names a little bit, so you can kind of use a little bit of that. Like if we look up the Storm snap lock, if you Google, this is gonna be good for everybody. Like if you have an older ball that like I don't have on categorization guides or you don't know where it fits, you can Google it. So we have the snap lock up on. I don't have it up on screen for you guys, but we have the core numbers and we have the cover. The cover is R3S Pearl. Ironically, if you look at R3S Pearl, it's the same thing that's on the Next Factor. The difference is that the core in the snap lock is much stronger. The core of the snap lock is almost the same as an Equinox core, but the cover stock is a lot weaker. So what would work is an Equinox, because the Equinox has a middle tier cover stock strength, but it has a very similar core. So if you want a snap lock replacement, Equinox Pearl is going to be a good play, but likewise Equinox Hybrid as well right now. Bang. So you do that with your current stuff. It's a lot harder to do outside of Storm because a lot of the companies like to reuse a lot of their cover stocks nowadays, but back before Brunswick bought out Ebonite, it's a little bit tougher. And Josh Humston just got an Effect Tour. Love that for you. Smile loves your snap lock. Mo, all geniuses are insane. Sadly, it is true. It is true. It is very true. I don't know what that, why the Venn diagram is just a circle for crazy people and geniuses, but it is. Well, it isn't a complete circle. There are crazy people who are not geniuses. Exhibit A is me. Let's see. Yofo. So in general, will a weak ball like an Ascend flare harder in the back end than a strong ball like an Ion Max? Let's not use the word flare there, but yes, generally the Ascend is going to be sharper down lane than an Ion Max, unless you're in too much oil. If the Ascend just doesn't hook, because there are situations like maybe like your Ascend, if you try throwing it in too much oil, it's just never going to hook. It's just going to go straight, whereas the Ion Max is going to hook. Dylan Tetzner. I think I hit that right. Where else are you streaming? I am streaming on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, and Facebook. 4 different places right now. Pupusa, yeah. Yep. I got you. It's a Salvadorian dish. Yep. Yeah, I've had pupusa. Jesby, if I drill a new ball at Turbo Friday, should I drill a Theorem Solid, Effect Tour, or Crown Vic Pearl? I'll be drilling a new Bionic and Equinox Hybrid and have a Rockstar amp. New fit arsenal. Whew. I like Theorem Solid best, personally. And I think that fits with what you got as well. Vic, Arsenal Question. Pretty balanced bowler, has an Alpha Crux, has a Black Widow 2.0, Danger Zone Solid, IQ Solid, Crown Vic Pearl, IQ Sapphire. Yeah, your bases are pretty covered. You don't really have anything in the medium part of your bag, so you have big gaps between your your Black Widow 2.0 down to your IQ. So you could have some medium symmetricals, but otherwise it's looking good. Smile, are you staffed by a company? I am not, and will never be exclusively staffed by any bowling ball company. I am with Apparel EFX for jerseys, and I am with Turbo for accessories, but I will never be with an actual bowling ball company like Storm, Motive, Brunswick, Swag exclusively. That'll just never happen as long as I have this channel. Mr. Phil, what about using urethane on a second shift league that's absolutely torched? That is honestly not a situation where urethane is going to be best either. Urethane is not a dry lane bowling ball. It is best on the urethane. Modern day urethane is made for the fresh. That's what it's there for. If you want that weak stuff, that's where the hustles, surges, vibes, raws, ascends, those balls are going to fit a little bit better. Yofo, do they make interchangeable fingers? They do, but they're a little more hairy. Andrew, Ron showed how surface changes up to 45 to 4700 grit and is called stable. Yeah, it is. I love that he did that. That's something that we never would have had unless it was for CTD, which was cool. Hey, Mohammed G. Wiz and Pack. Thank you guys for the follows. I like Storm. That's awesome. Storm's a great company. They have some awesome stuff. I'll be there tomorrow, not at Storm HQ. I got to get out there sometime. I got to get out to them in Brunswick. I haven't talked to Motive about stopping by their plant, but it'd be cool to stop by those places. I think it'd be entertaining. PJ Plan Sport Arsenal is a pure madness. I like that. Orange Piranha, Intel Tour, Lane Shine Counterattack. I like it. Michael Datinga, I throw a Purple Hammer Phase 2 Venom Shock. Yeah, I think a Pearl Ball would fit well. You don't really have anything shiny right now. You have a lot of dull stuff. So I think something a little weaker is going to be, or a little shinier is going to be better. Phase 2 Pearl, Venom Hysteria, things like that. And O-Star Matchmaker tomorrow. Yes, I will be at the Des Moines, Iowa Matchmaker in Bolorama Lanes. So make sure to come by 1 to 5 p.m. Central Time. Should be a fun time. Can try out an Equinox Hybrid. Be one of the first in the world to throw it. Otherwise, IQ Sapphire, Wicked Gremlin, Transform Pearl. A lot of awesome bowling balls. Jim Ward. Any suggestions on keeping your hand behind the ball, not trying to turn it early and chicken wing it? You're a senior player, and I sometimes do that. Well, one of the main reasons that people do it is they're going to get to the top of their backswing, their hand's in a good position, like on top of the ball, and then they pull. And that's something I do all the time too, which I've been trying to fix for a while, is you pull down. And the minute you start pulling down, that hand wants to get to the side of the bowling ball. So as long as you don't pull, it's a lot easier to get that hand to stay behind it. So try that out. Let's see. Pack, what storm balls are weaker than the IQ Ruby? Typhoon, Hustles, and Tropical Surges. Yofo, how snug is a thumb hole supposed to be to create revs? I place one piece of tape in and thumb is too loose. 2 pieces, my thumb gets stuck. So the big thing to remember is when your thumb is in the bowling ball, you want your fingernail to be pushing back. You don't want to be grabbing. Like if your thumb is doing that in the thumb hole, that's a bad thing. That means you're never going to be able to have it in the right spot. When your thumb is in the ball, try focusing on the fingernail being towards the back of the hole. And that's going to help you figure out what is supposed to be the right fit. RJ, USBC should rescind 900 series pre-bowled from upstate New York. Shot 2 perfect series, both pre-bowled. USBC feared a lawsuit, so they approved 1. Those are tough. Those are tough situations. I get where they're coming from. If it was somebody just trying to sue, like it's so much easier just to avoid it and move on, because that's a mess. Especially if it was 10-ish years ago, like USBC wasn't in the best position. So yeah, that's tough. Lance Smith, you don't create revs with your thumb. You do not. No, absolutely not. No, but it is there for control and for manipulation. Alchemy, you want a rotogrip hyped up from TV Bowling Supply yesterday. Nice. That's awesome. Where did we land on Chamois Daddy Stream? No. Darius, main difference between a special effect and a max effect. Max effect is much earlier and smoother than the special. Chloe, my bionic is drilled with a pin up to the right and level with the ring finger, not pin up or down. How would that affect ball motion? All depends on where your positive access point is. It could be a lot of different things, but it really depends where that PAP is located for you. So find that PAP and then we'll be able to figure it out. PJ, I have a Black Widow 2.0, Black Widow Mania, and a UC3. I would recommend a symmetrical ball. I think a symmetrical ball would be good. Lot of different options of what would be best there. You could go Brunswick. If you want to stay with Brunswick, you have a lot of Brunswick stuff, a little bit of Roto. You could go Brunswick Alert, Storm Phase 2, Ion Pro Solid. It's asymmetrical, acts like a symmetrical ball. Bionic, Venom Shock, Black Venom, Nebula. A lot of balls that'll fit there. And Truly, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. Remember, make sure to follow if you haven't. Best way to help support the channel. It's completely free of charge. If you follow or sub on YouTube, follow everywhere else. It's great to help. We are close to, what are we close to? 20,000 follows on Instagram. We're close to 30,000 followers on Facebook. We're close to 25,000 subs on YouTube. And we are at 616 on Twitch. So any help is always greatly appreciated, guys. Thank you so much for hopping in today. And we're still going through comments and questions. Michael, Speed Dominant, Black Widow Mania, or Spartan Pearl? Spartan Pearl. It's a little stronger, a little better for a little more speed. Jim Ward wants a Brunswick Alert, but you have a Brunswick Black and Blue Knockout. They're similar, but not too similar. I think you'd be okay getting both. Doug Heim, how do you clean your bowling balls? I leave them outside for a few minutes and the oil comes out of the balls. That's not just the oil that's coming out, that is also plasticizers. So one way to tell is it oil or plasticizers is if you smell the ball when it has that on it, it smells a little sweeter. Those are the plasticizers, and that is bad if that is coming out of the bowling ball. That is really bad if it's coming out of the bowling ball. So the best way to do it is actually use a true rejuvenator if you want to use heat. That is something that it's a controlled environment, so your ball doesn't get too hot, because there's a very fine temperature between your ball actually leaking oil and your ball leaking all of the plasticizer. Plasticizer is what is needed to get the ball to hook and absorb oil. If you melt out the plasticizers, your ball is completely shot and you're screwed. So recommend not doing that. The most safe way is going to be creating the differences. Since I have it here, I'll hold it up like an ad placement, is creating the differences back to life. This is going to be the safest option for you. Whew. All right. I haven't drank much Ghost. What's going on? Anna, what's up? I had figured out why you were familiar when I was at the 11th frame, and now I know. Oh, perfect. Awesome. What's up? Yeah, I was there. I was indeed there trying to bowl. Did all right with it for a little bit. Didn't do all right with it as much on Sunday. Dan, think I'm going to go with an XL Origin Sublime Focus Bionic and a spare ball for the start of the league in 2 weeks. Nice. XL Origin Sublime Focus Bionic spare ball. I like it. Dan. It's awesome. Chloe, if you're speed dominant, can you get an ASIM solid by we looking for Pearl? If you're speed dominant, yeah, you can get ASIM solid or Pearl. ASIM solid is going to be better for the fresh. The Pearl will be better a little more for transition. Jazzy B, I swear the kids know I'm watching. I'll see you later. All right, see you later, Jazzy. Close family friends with Jeff, so I didn't bowl but went to win some money and watch. Oh, nice. That's perfect. Awesome. That's a better play. Hopefully you actually won money downstairs, unlike most people the way it sounded. There were many horror stories from downstairs. For context, 11th frame open last weekend, happened in Dubuque, Iowa. The second floor is a bowling alley. The first floor is a Diamond Joe's casino. So what would happen is bowlers would get done. They'd go downstairs and go try to win their money back. Generally unsuccessfully. Like Anna, I didn't. Yeah, it's a little hard to win it back. I actually I did step foot in there to get food, but I never sat down at any machines, which was surprising. Probably better for my wallet because I lost money anyway on the weekend. Shout out to hotels sucking. Fun story. I go to a hotel on Saturday night after the 11th frame open. Get there, check in, very sketchy place. You go to the room, everything's super busted down. The lock doesn't really work that well. Like, all right, that's really bad. Pull back the bed covers and half the bed is completely soaked. No idea what it is, but the bed is just soaked. Look at that. It's like, nah, this ain't it. This ain't happening. Immediately dip. Person working is like, well, I can't give you a refund. I'm just a worker. Call back on Monday to talk to the manager. Like, yeah, we're giving you a refund. It's like, you better. My bed was wet. Why was it wet? I still don't know what the liquid was, and it terrifies me because it wasn't the whole bed. If it was just washed, the whole sheet would be wet, but that wasn't the case. It was weird. I hate it. I don't want to know, but I've had such bad luck in Iowa hotels. This similar thing happened in Waterloo, Iowa for a tournament, and it was terrible as well. I ended up not getting a hotel that night. I just drove home. Like, screw this. They were soaking their bowling balls. That had to be it. It was someone from the tournament. This is why we don't go to Iowa. That's a fair point. That is a fair point. But yeah, that was not a fun time. That was not a fun time. All right, let's see. Pin Crusher, you are a two-hander, 17 miles off the hand and righty, 415 rev rate. A lot of motive stuff. Any gaps that you need to be filled. Raptor Rain, Evoke Hysteria, Venom EJ, Lethal Venom. You do have a big gap between your Evoke Hysteria and your Max Thrill Hybrid. So you could fit something there. Nebula, Venom Hysteria, something like that might not be bad. Michael, you have 3 solid balls and you feel confident. Zero Mercy, phase 2, new blue. Just trying to fill out my next 3. Yeah, I would go shinier stuff, shiny hybrids, shiny pearls, maybe some shiny solids as well. Bono, someone took a typhoon to the bed. Oh, that's a terrible pun. I love it. We love bowling ball puns here, folks. PJ, I have a Black Widow 2.0, Black Widow Mania, and a Rotogrip use. Oh, we hit you already. Phil Baller would definitely recommend the purple and gold ZVL one to match the Ebonite Fire purple and gold. That's true. Don't get it to match the Vikings because you want to be able to win when you bowl, and they don't really do that. So might want something else. But no, the purple and gold, this is going to be the next one that I use personally. So I'm pretty excited for that. Anna, thank you for the follow. So yeah, I have the light blue and red right now for the Minnesota Twins, who are not out of the playoff hunt, which is weird. A little surprising. Yofo, is the origin of bad ball for two-handed balance lefty? No, it's actually smooth enough where it can go well. Darius Clay Evans on Facebook. You have a Piranha Bubblegum Vibe special effect undrilled. An old Widow bite for a spare ball. Should I sell the effect? Oh, sell the effect or get something else. You have a Piranha, a Vibe, special effect. No, I would actually keep the special effect. I think that fits really well with what you got. Nomar, I have an LSU fact that a lot of Southerners do not like. Oh, no. Alchemy, Shammy Daddy. I don't know how I turned into Shammy Daddy. My arsenal has it's a two-handed rev dominant bowler. Is Black Widow 2.0 hybrid, Ion Max Pearl, Fallout, Venom Hysteria, hyped up Devotion Vibe. Oh, that name is awesome. I'm not getting that on a jersey, by the way. That's never happening. Looking at it, it's a pretty solid lineup. I really like what you got, Alchemy. I like what you got a lot. Tori Casey, I'm buying multiple chamois when we get the Seahawks colors. Dude, it's on the way. I promise. I will make a Seahawks colorway one day because the Seahawks have some of the greatest colors. Mike, since you mentioned LSU, did you hear the USB-C is changing the 5-pin to now be called the 11-pin to honor Jaden Daniels' accomplishments while wearing 5 at LSU? Who's Jaden Daniels again? I'm a bad sports fan. What happened? What happened? Oh no. Using his NIL? What is this? Someone let me know. Someone TLDR it for me. What happened to Jaden Daniels? The goose is loose. 03 League 6-ball Arsenal. I love the name. How'd you do? Let's see. Alert. Solid. Ion Pro solid. Love it. Transform Pearl. Great. Theorem Delta. Little close. Actually, it's a step down, which will be good. Warning Alert. Step down from those. Supercuda Power Core and a Nebula. Balance leading rev dominant. It's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, I like what you have a lot. Overall, fits a lot of categories, so I think it goes well. Balrog, I believe that knowing your axis tilt is just as important. Absolutely. Yeah, knowing the more stuff you know, the better for that. Like, if you know your axis tilt, axis rotation, revs, speed, all that jazz is good to know. Basically, his camp got mad that a new LSU player is wearing 5. What? They didn't retire his jersey, and now he's sent a cease and desist because he wore 5. Oh man, that's where the NIL stuff goes into a haywire. I mean, it probably, if he's doing it, I guarantee they found a loophole in the NIL stuff, but that's crazy. That's wild. Huh. Andrew Linz, I have every theorem, 2 of the original, and I loved it sanded and shiny. What do you think of the Delta? The Delta is the closest we've ever been to the OG. So I think you'll really like that if you want to aim for it. Yofo, you have 14 undrilled balls. You go through 2 balls a year. Would they go bad or crack before I use them? They can. I would recommend keeping the plastic around them and keep it airtight. Oxygen is actually the worst thing for bowling balls. So that is actually something you should focus on, is have the plastic wrapped around it and don't let it get to the air. Mike, my strike song would be Get Lucky by Daft Punk. I love it. Doug Heim, what's the best editing system for making videos for yourself in YouTube? My favorite is Canva. That's what I use for everything. You don't need Canva Pro to do all the cool features, but Canva is one of my favorites. Yofo, I listened to Barney the Dinosaur songs on my earpods when I bowl. That'd be funny. Fun fact, when we were there last Saturday, there was actually one of the kids of one of the guys I bowl with, who did not know who Barney was. And I want to preface it by saying one of the kids, because he's like, I don't know how old he is. He's probably mid-teens and didn't know who Barney was, which is fair, honestly. Surprising. Bayou's picking up a new Bionic and Intel Tour. Ooh, let me know how that Intel Tour is specifically. I'm very curious. Spencer Ayashi, really enjoy your vlog, and this is the first time catching you live. Awesome, welcome. Getting ready for fall season leagues. You have a 6-ball arsenal. Ion Max, Bionic, Camo, Vibe, Black Pearl Urethane. Is there any gaps? I would recommend some kind of shinier ball. You don't really have much in the shiny camp, so I'd recommend something like a stronger shiny ball, ASIM shiny, especially if you're a stroker. So Spartan Pearl, Strategy. Did you say Transform Pearl actually in there? You did not. Transform Pearl, Equinox Hybrid, Evoke Hysteria, something like that. Hey, G. Bryant, what's up? I'm at Bowling Bingo. What is Bowling Bingo? Zenwap, I currently have a Phase 2 Well, I'm very curious. I currently have a Phase 2 Pearl and a Plastic. What would you suggest for my next ball? I would go like a Monsoon or a Deep Ocean Vibe. One of those two should fit really well for you. Equinox Solid is similar to the Bionic. No, there's a pretty big gap between the two. And Lance, think we'll see a CTD bowling team one day. Maybe, potentially. Those guys can do a lot of cool stuff. They have a lot of momentum in their direction, which is cool. Zane is a personal best of 721, good for a 13-year-old. Absolutely. Age is not something you should focus on with your bowling accomplishments, because it's more about the amount of experience you have in that sport. So there's a lot of guys out there who are just starting, who don't have a 700 series yet, but they're just starting. So someone who's like 30, who's in their first year, has less experience than a lot of 15-year-olds right now. Like, I still have less bowling experience than a lot of 20-year-olds, just because they started earlier, they focused on it longer, things like that. So I wouldn't worry too much about like what's good or bad at your age. That's awesome. Whatever you're at, that's awesome. And I think that's something to be proud of and happy of. Ralphie, thoughts on the Super Clutch? Very mid. Very, very mid. It's fine. It's not great, not terrible. It's okay. I'm honestly might buy the Intel Tour. Pretty ball, honestly. Bono. Oh, the colors are great. They crushed it on the colorways. They did a great job with the colors. Mr. Phil, would urethane... Oh, no, we talked about that one. Jim Ward, have you tried the new Turbo Switch Grip, and how do they compare to Jopo? So, I have actually tried it. I have it behind me. It's on the floor because I am a terrible person and I have it on the floor. But yes, I do have, it's going to be impossible to see, apologies, but I do have Turbo's new switch grip system, the NX. I drilled it for the first time last week. I will have a video coming next week about it a little bit more. I'm trying to get some games on my Wicked Gremlin, see how the switch grip is actually holding up. The things I've noticed so far compared to the original, because I just drilled an original switch grip as well, this seems to be a little more structurally stable. It seems like it's going to break a lot. It has less chances of breaking, and it's a lot more idiot proof. Now, that last part is the big part, is a lot of people didn't really put in switch grips properly previously, and that caused a lot of them to break, or your fit was wrong. The big thing with switch grips is if your thumb was too tight and your thumb would like get stuck in the ball like that, like you would try, like it would just stick that little bit longer, it would actually pull on the switch grip, and that's what would cause them to break, is too tight of thumb holes. So now this has a lot of things, has a lot of safety measures to make sure it doesn't happen. The best part is also it's cheaper. So it is cheaper than other products that are out there right now, which is really nice. It's the same price as the original switch grip system. So if you want to save money, the NX is going to be a good option. But otherwise, yeah, I like it a lot. I haven't used much of the others. I'm a pro shop guy, so I've drilled every kind of thumb. This was the easiest to drill by far. Like, it took me less time than ever drilling both the inner and the outer part of the sleeve. It was surprising how easy it was. So I like it a lot so far. I'm a big fan. But the only big thing with, roll that away. The two big things I've noticed with it is, one, it is tighter to get in, but you don't need a tool. That's the best part, because I would never want to use a tool to try to get my thumbs out, because I use interchangeables on everything, spare balls, reactive balls, everything. So I need to be able to get my thumb in and out quickly. And that's where this is nice. But also, I think a lot of people are going to have one issue, is you have to lock it twice. There's 2 clicks that happen to make sure it's like it's fully safely secured. If you only do the one click, it's okay, but there's 2 clicks total, so that's going to be the one thing that pro shops have to be wary of. AA customer service. I've never heard anyone say thumbs could break because the thumbs were snug. Yeah, that is actually fairly common. Is when you throw, like in a lot of these bowling balls, or in a lot of these thumb systems, there's bottom parts of it and tabs, and if you just yank on it every shot because your thumb gets stuck that little bit, that will cause it to break. So I saw a lot of guys who were breaking them constantly, but what I found out is that they were grabbing with their thumb and they were like gripping too hard with their hands, so their fit was inaccurate, and that was causing them to break. Because if you put that much pressure on, especially someone with a stronger hand, you're going to break. All of these thumb systems are just plastic. There's no metal. There's no anything special. It's just plastic. And it's very thin plastic, so it's easy to break if you try to. So that was something that a lot of people, I think, didn't realize about older like switch grips or even the other systems, is that the fit also helps them stay in place. All right. Let's see. Vic, thoughts on the best medium symmetrical ball out there? Bionic right now. Definitely Bionic. Bionic. Fallout looks good right now. Venom Shock still goated. Black Venom still really good. Thank you for the 30 jewels. Appreciate it. Who is it? Maker Cuisine. Thank you so much. What else would be good? Alert, I think we mentioned. GB5 is still good. Yeah, balls like that. Andrew Burns, Hypercell, Rogue Blade, Danger Zone, Purple Ice, Snapshot Hybrid, Snapshot Pearl, Midnight Spare, Sniper Spare Ball. There you go. Jaybird, what symmetrical solid do you like on the house? My favorite last year was... what was my favorite last year? I right now like the Bionic. I think that's the best league ball out there. Best house shop ball out there. Alert should be pretty all right. What did I throw last year for symmetrical solids? What did I throw? Rockstar Amped was actually my GOAT house shop ball. That and the Phase 2 Pearl last year were my 2 best. Quar, 2-hander here. Currently have a Black Tour V1. Black Widow Tour V1, Equinox Solid, Phase 2 Pearl. Really want a new ball. Not sure what to get. So you have a Widow V1, Equinox Solid, Phase 2. I like what you have. You might want like a weakened smooth ball. Deep Ocean Vibe, Monsoon, IQ Tour, Ion Pro Solid might not be bad either. Avoid Ion Pro Solid. It's too close to the Black Widow Tour. Venom Shock still can be really good. I think some of those balls. Hook, Equinox Solid, Alert, Phase 2 Pearl, Monsoon, Tropical Surge, Black Dragon Pearl. Equinox Solid, Alert, Phase 2 Pearl, Monsoon. I like it. That's a really good arsenal right now, man. Looks good. Looks really good. Maker Cuisine just got a Bionic drilled in a versatile layout. I'm really liking it. If I was to get another ball, what would you suggest? I bowl one hand with thumb in leagues. If you want something weaker, that's where you go like Rocket AI. If you want something stronger, that's where you go Phase 2 or even like up to a Viking Conquest or Equinox Solid. WA Plumber, Viking Conquest, Evoke Hysteria, Ion Pro Solid, Venom Shock, Venom Hysteria, Thrill Hybrid. I like it. Looking good. You have pretty much every base covered right now. Brunswick is in Muskegon. Motive sits a little way outside. Even with the new plant, they're outside. Because I've never been to Muskegon, so I really don't know what the layout of that place is at all, that city. Not really sure. Yofo, I'm lefty and I keep falling off to the left. Yep, that's fairly common. What's happening is your leg, either you're not sliding. One of the most common ways that people fall off their shots is they don't slide. So make sure you're sliding, first of all. And otherwise, if you're falling off left, that means all of your momentum is going too far that direction. So make sure you keep that knee bent. Make sure you put a lot of that weight into that slide and try to just keep everything a little more stable and don't try to muscle it. Michael, what vibe would be best? I would go Deep Ocean, personally, Michael. Go Deep Ocean vibe. What's your name? Black Ketchum. I recently finished 12th out of 48. I tend to overthink lane reactions, struggle processing what I see under pressure. How would you coach me to simplify my decisions, trust what I see, execute better shots? The big one is just learn from every shot you throw. You shouldn't, in a tournament setting, when you're bowling, you should not double think if the shot was bad because you threw it bad or if the reaction was bad. You should always assume that you're throwing it at least all right, and you should try to focus on the ball reaction. So if you go through the face and you're like, Did I throw that good or was it the ball reaction? Assume it was more the ball reaction than anything. That's going to be a good way to try to think about things. Chloe, my brother has a conventional bowling grip. He wants to increase his rev rate. Can you do that with conventional? Not easily. It's very hard to do that with, very hard to boost your rev rate with conventional. It's possible, but it's a little bit harder. And I don't really have any good ways to do it. Yofo is back to life, essentially plasticizers. No, but it opens up the pores to allow the ball to be able to absorb oil. So it isn't actually like adding anything to the ball in terms of like plasticizers or anything, but it just opens up, gives the ball the ability to open up the pores. All right, let's see. We are going to be done in just about a couple of minutes. So huge thank you to everybody that's hopped in. We're going to answer a couple more questions before we head out. Make sure to hit follow or subscribe on your way out the door. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for the support so far. Before you go away, make sure to check out all of our sponsors, but we will hit a couple more questions before we're done today. So we'll hit a couple more. I'm almost caught up, but we're going to try to see where we can get to. Mike, there's been a bunch of memes for the cease and desist. Andrew, I asked you a week or so ago if anybody called you Shammy Daddy. This came from your yep. I know that's where it's from. Kimmy, thank you for the follow over on TikTok. Appreciate it. Thoughts on the Venom Hysteria from Nate? It's a fantastic pearl ball. Little weaker, little smoother, but a great pearl ball right now. What do you do when you get rid of old bowling balls? I either try to sell them, I try to give them away, or if those don't work and the ball really sucks or it's been plugged too many times, I throw it away. So dumpster is unfortunately the best play. And Tristan, thank you for the subscription. Appreciate it. Bowling Brian, I have like 10 balls, too many to keep in my 2 totes. The rest are kept on the closet shelf sitting in plastic ball cups. No worries there. As long as they're on plastic ball cups, you're going to be A-okay. Just don't put them on like carpet or wood or anything like that. Tori Casey, I'll be 58 in 3 weeks, and I started bowling 4 years ago, and I love it. Hey, that is awesome. I love that. Doug Heim, my 3-ball bag is a Kinetic, a Paragon, and a Black Widow Visible. There you go. Tori Casey, research that ball covers sitting out, absorb their environment, wrap them up, they will stay fresh. Yes. Yep, room temperature. Don't leave them on anything that absorbs. So no carpet, no wood, nothing like that. Make sure it's on plastic, generally. And there's Don Clifton. What's going on, man? Michael, I've never broken my thumb, and I got my outer sleeve dripped over 10 years ago now. Are you sure it's not just to get people to switch to get more money? Do you think they will discontinue the old? So, yeah, he's talking about the switch grips. So, I've never broken my thumb, and I got my outer sleeve ripped out over 10 years ago. So, I mean, 10 years ago, that's crazy. But yeah, if the outer sleeve ripped out, it was not glued in properly, is what it is. So a lot of the things with the thumb systems are pro shop error or user error in a lot of ways. So no, I can confirm they are not doing it to get more money. They are not an evil entity trying to just make all the money off of you they can. The reason they did it is for a more secure feeling. The switch grip system is over 20 years old, is the big thing to remember. They were some of the first, and the system is over 20 years old, and they haven't really made upgrades to the system yet. So this is really the first major upgrade they're making to the turbo switch grip system. So that is why it is what it is. They put a lot of years of research into this to try to figure out something that's going to work better. And they've been working on it for a while, and now they've finally been able to put it out. And will they discontinue the old? They will not be discontinuing the old switch grip system. The NX is just another option. So the regular switch grips and the NX are always going to be available. They are not discontinuing the old switch grips anytime soon. So the only thing they will be doing, they said, maybe in like a year or two, they'll get rid of some of the other colorways of the switch grips, but otherwise, like the black one will always be available. So no worries about that. Mike, can you please tell me in feet what long, medium, and short patterns are considered? Yeah, it's kind of changed. So if you Google it, it's actually incorrect. Long pattern is 44 feet or more. Medium pattern is about 39 to 43 or 40 to 43. And then anything shorter than that is short. All right. Anyone else? Stan Young, what's going on? Basket bowler, lefty two-hander, Bionic or Rockstar, S2 or Ion Pro Solid, Bubblegum Vibe or Typhoon. Trying to stick to 3. I think you have it really well done of like a one or the other situation. Oh, you never had a problem, Michael. I see. Yeah, and you don't have to switch. That's the thing. Like for me, I'm going to slowly be switching my arsenal. So every new ball I drill, I'm going to put the NX in, but I still have the old switch grip system that I will use. I still have a bunch of them left. So if I need to, I can just put in the old switch grip system and be fine. The only difference is I need different thumbs, but I was able to drill matching thumbs, just one with the old system, one with the new. So no worries there. Justin C, will drilling another Intel Recon 5x40 complement your 4x30? Yes, that's going to be a little bit longer, a little quicker. Absolutely. Kimmy, new bowler. I just beat my high with a 179. Hey, congratulations, Kimmy. That's awesome. Huge congratulations. Love it. Love that for you. ACY, what's a really good strong ball, sharp ball to add to your arsenal? Ebonite Spartan and Zero Mercy Pearls, what I have. You already have a strong ball and you already have a strong sharp ball. So if you want something a little weaker, you could go to symmetricals like a stealth mode hybrid and a phase 2 or something. Amare, what's a really good... Oh, we hit you. Michael, oh no, all good. Alchemy, thanks for all you do. Good night and good bowling. Thank you so much, Alchemy. All right, otherwise, I think that is Doug Heim. I can't find any info about the tournament in South Point in October. Can you send me the info? It is the Agent Ong Open. I'll find the website quick. Yeah, it's agentongopen.com. But otherwise, Doug, this should send everywhere. This should send on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. It looks like it's not sending on Facebook. Oh, there it is. It did. www.agentongopen.com is a tournament coming in October. It is the all-in tournament. It is an awesome 10 grand on top tournament that I will be attending. My plane tickets and hotel are good to go. Bringing my dad for the first time to Vegas should be a great time. We're going to get him on a $2,000 a hand blackjack table. No, that's not happening. But that is going to be all we have for today, guys. I want to thank all of you guys for hopping in today. I really do appreciate it. You guys showed a lot of love today. We had a lot of people hopping in and hanging out, talking bowling. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it. We are back again next Monday, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. But otherwise, we have a lot of stuff coming in the next couple of days. Tomorrow, we are going to have a video on building the cheapest bowling ball arsenal you can. Make sure to stay tuned for that. It's a really fun video. Otherwise, we have on our short form platforms our final match play review of the 11th Frame Open. We have a talk with Swag Bowling's Luke Rosedahl. You guys might have heard of him from a thing or two. He's going to be talking about, we have a video with him talking about a lot of the new swag releases. We have a lot of other really cool videos coming. Stay tuned. Stay very tuned for the next couple of weeks. We have a lot of cool educational content. Otherwise, Sunday, we're going to have a review of my Turbo Hyper RX elbow stabilizer as well. For all of you who've been curious, that's going to be going up on YouTube. So I want to thank all of you guys for hopping in today. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to check out all of our lovely sponsors and partners that have been popping up here all day. DH Labs, Turbo, Bowling.com, Apparel EFX, G Fuel, our new one, Blue Maca, as I punch my mic arm. Blue Maca, 10% off using code ZVL Bowling at checkout. Otherwise, thank you guys all so much for watching today. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you all on the next one.